All right, everybody, welcome here to the Sports Talk Network here tonight. Welcome, to Steve's Wrestling Ramble, where we'll be reviewing Extreme Rules, talking Raw, talking SmackDown. As you can tell by the theme song used here to open the show, we'll be talking about news of Hulk Hogan returning to WWE, but going back to the WWE Hall of Fame, be reinstated, and in some capacity in the future will be on WWE television. But let's welcome my co-host first, Kyron Chase.
What's up, everybody? It's good to be back. Just ready to get started.
All right, Marco Rambo.
Yo, 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 what's going on? What's going on? Let's get straight to it. I got a lot we could talk about today.
And so do I.
And so do I. Let's start with Extreme Rules. As I said, this person on the table to talk about the show, which I thought overall was okay, fine. Obviously not great nor terrible. I don't see it on either spectrums of the aisle. I do say that it was good. And let's start off talking about the kickoff show matches. Andrade Cien Almas defeating Sin Cara and Sanity defeating The New Day in their tables match. What do you guys think of these two matches that kicked off the show in the kickoff show? Kyron?
I don't watch the pre-show, so I didn't watch the matches.
Okay, understood. Mark?
I heard who won. I didn't watch it either. But I'm sure it was pretty good. My boy Andrade Cien Almas himself. He's the future of SmackDown. I'm just gonna say that right now. He's definitely the future of SmackDown. That match that he had with AJ Tuesday was a good match too. So
that was great.
That was an excellent match. He is bound to be the WWE champion in the near future. I'm not gonna instantly say soon, but in the near future. And yeah. I can't wait to get one of his shirts.
Yeah, same here. I'm really pulling for him to do well here on the main roster, and I know as Mark even already spoke about his match on SmackDown Live. We'll get there when we get to talking about that show, but definitely, at least for me, is a fan of his, and was a fan of his at least when he was paired up with Selena Vega, when he got that push, when he was on some of a winning streak, winning the championship as well, NXT former NXT champion, blah blah blah. That's when I started being even a little bit before then, but at around that point of being a fan of Andrade, and now him on the main roster. Hopefully, WWE can book him correctly on the main roster on SmackDown Live, and if what happened on SmackDown Live this past week is any indication, I think he's going to be just fine. Whether he is a future WWE champion or not, that's obviously unknown, but hopefully that is in the cards for him. And moving right along, starting off the actual show, the main show, the B team defeating Woken Matt Hardy and Bray Wyatt in surprise of the year, maybe not. But the B team defeating them to become the new Raw Tag Team Champions. So what say you on this shocking victory by the B team and becoming the Raw Tag Team Champions, Karen?
Well, to be fair, I thought the match was just meh. It was nothing special. The crowd was pretty alive when Bray and Bo were face to face the first time, but I think they didn't do what they should have. When they did go at it, the crowd was kind of dead. And I think they screwed up by not having Bo pin his brother. I think that would have been just something perfect. You know, man gets his first title on the main roster by pinning his brother. I think they should have done that, but they didn't think it through. The match itself was nothing special. I didn't really care for it.
All right, go ahead, Mark.
I enjoyed the build-up of it, kind of like how they were just like, I really wanted, like I said in the predictions episode last week, I really wanted them to win, and they ended up winning. And I think it was Demon, who was Blue Demon, he said it, I just want to see the reaction. Like, I just wanted to see what would happen if they really did win. We got to see it. I'm just wondering now, how long is this run going to last? I don't think it's going to last that long. But I'm really interested to see. I enjoyed it.
I enjoyed it as well. I was actually a little bit surprised, though. I was hoping the B team would win. And I predicted it the other way because I thought this whole momentum B team on a winning streak that it all come crashing down at the pay-per-view, right? They get all these wins on this long road to Extreme Rules to build up that match to give you that thinking that maybe they actually might get the win and wanting to cheer for them to be in the face team in this match. But then Hardy and Wyatt in the end getting the win at the pay-per-view, but the B team actually winning and becoming the champions was a little bit surprising to me, but a good thing. Looking forward to seeing whether a short reign or long reign, how they do as the Raw Tag Team Champions. Moving right along, Finn Balor against one of my guys, Constable Baron Corbin. What do you guys thoughts on this one-on-one action? Karen.
Once again, it was a man match. I mean, it wasn't bad but it wasn't nothing special either. I thought, I said in my review, I think that if Baron went back to his old gimmick and they actually started treating Finn the way he should be treated, like he was in NXT, I can get down with a Baron Corbin Finn Balor feud. The two actually looked like they had some good chemistry in the ring, but due to the build-up and the fact that, Corbin was wrestling in a suit for crying out loud, I just couldn't get into it. And then having Finn win by a small package, I thought was a stupid idea because doesn't seem like going to continue the feud. And with Finn winning by a fluke, it pretty much says that Corbin was kind of right. So I thought the match was, once again, it was a man match.
All right, Mark.
I agree. Honestly, it was an okay match. Nothing much to it. I feel like considering who he's with, with Finn, a lot of stuff could have happened. A lot of stuff can happen. They're just choosing not to. They're not using Finn Balor right with me, in my opinion. There's a lot of stuff that they could do. It was just a so-so match. It wasn't really like super interesting. Overall, the pay-per-view, I thought a lot could have been better, which I'm sure we'll get into later on. But it was all right. It was simple. It was all right.
All right, yeah, and I thought for me thinking that maybe it would have been best to have Baron get the win here, but maybe if we were going to, or still unknown truly what we were doing for SummerSlam, the Universal Championship, or at least we kind of have somewhat of an idea with what happened in Raw. But still, what I thought before heading into Extreme Rules of Finn Balor, if he was going to get the win, for him to get in the title picture, for it to be like a multi-man match at SummerSlam, though it doesn't look that way. But though if Corbin then was to get the win, Finn not, then where exactly would they go moving forward with Finn? So I have more belief in what they're going to do with Baron Corbin, whether pushing him or not, than what they're going to be doing with Finn Balor. So at least that's where I saw that heading into the match. And Finn coming out of it as the winner, okay, fine. But really, is that going to propel him to anything, or at least to me anything major for himself at SummerSlam or for Constable Corbin? I still think he's from this gimmick, short-lived probably gimmick as Constable Corbin, that this a push will be inevitable for him moving forward, coming out of it, whenever that is to be. But moving forward, let's talk about two matches. First being the SmackDown Live Women's Championship match, Carmella defeating Asuka, that had James Ellsworth in the shark cage. And then Shinsuke Nakamura defeating Jeff Hardy to become the new United States champion. Randy Orton showing up afterwards and attacking Hardy after the match. So let's start with the first one being the SmackDown Live Women's Championship. And otherwise, so let's start with Mark Ramble. What are your thoughts on those two matches before we go over to Kyron?
The SmackDown Women's Championship. Is that what you said?
Yep.
Mark, save the best rant for me.
Man.
Yeah,
what isn't there to say, man? Seriously, it was. Oh my gosh. I gave them the benefit of the doubt, Kyron. You were absolutely right. I gave them the benefit of the doubt. I was being nice, and they still did it to us. They still did it to us. I don't understand how. I don't know. I don't know what they're thinking. I don't know. I'm still very disappointed. I don't know what Asuka could do right now. And I'm sure you're going to bring it up. There's this one word I'm waiting for you to say.
Let me ask you a question, Mark. Does it start with a B and end with a D?
Absolutely, my young brother.
Positively.
Okay.
Here's a question. Kyron, do you want to go first with your side, or you want me to try to say mine before you go on your thoughts? I don't know. Which way do you want to go? Do you just want to go?
I'll go first. You respond, and if I respond, I'll respond back.
All right, go ahead, sir.
All right, now you guys know me. I don't like to use the term buried loosely because most people that use the term buried don't know what the hell they're talking about. They think that when you lose a match, that instantly makes you buried. That's not true. To me, burial is when you really cut someone down or really kill off their momentum. Look at Bayley last year at Extreme Rules, and then a full year later, at the exact same pay-per-view, they do it to Asuka. Now, I don't know where to begin. The match, first off, was bad. It was a bad match. You had Asuka dominating the whole match. the pacing was off when you had Ellsworth trying to help Carmella cheat from the get go, and and Asuka snuffed it out. Then when Ellsworth got hung by the bandanas, you could clearly see the harness over his jacket when his jacket came over his head. So they didn't even try to hide that. So let's look at Asuka in NXT. She was undefeated for 2 years, champion for over 500 days. She was unbeatable, unstoppable, and pretty much unfazable.
Yep.
And Moon could not beat her twice. Bayley, back when she was legitimate, could not beat her twice. Nikki Cross took her to the limit in a last woman standing match. Did she beat her, Mark?
Yep.
So I'm looking at all these women. Asuka easily beat NXT or really had no shot. Now, when she lost Charlotte at WrestleMania, I thought,
that was a good loss, though. That was an amazing loss.
It was a good match, but at the same time, I wouldn't have had Asuka tap out. That's just me. I mean, I would have had Asuka.
But I'd rather her lose to Charlotte than anybody.
I'm getting there. Don't worry. I'm not done. I'm nowhere near done. And I said, you know what? It's Charlotte. She's legit. She's arguably the best women's worker in the company. I can accept this. Then let's talk about the 2 losses to Carmella. It's not just Asuka losing I have a problem with. It's how she lost. That's what makes it burial. In both matches, she looked completely stupid.
Yep.
And throughout the whole feud, Carmella dominated the feud. Mark, if I told you a year ago that when Asuka got to the main roster, she would be dominating a feud with Carmella, what would you tell me?
I would tell you that she would be dominated by Carmella.
Yes, that she'd be dominated as in Carmella.
I would not believe you at all, one bit. I would tell you Asuka would destroy Carmella.
See, if this was NXT, Carmella wouldn't have lasted 2 minutes with Asuka. And then and like I said in Money in the Bank, and I said in my review of the team and I'll reiterate it. They brought Ellsworth back because Carmella was not interested enough on her own as champion. They had to bring Ellsworth back. He gets a big reaction Carmella gets. I don't like neither one of them. I'm sorry, I don't care who likes Carmella. She can't wrestle. She's a terrible wrestler. In-ring wrestler, she's not good. And the fact that WWE thought it was smart to have her go over Asuka not once, but twice on pay-per-view, and not only that, she beat Charlotte, and none of those matches were really good to begin with. And I'm just gonna say this now, to get out of the way. If they had the balls to let her beat Becky at SummerSlam for the title, you think what I'm doing now is bad? Just wait till you see what I'm gonna do if they really had that happen. This is not a threat. This is a promise. Remember how OTR Central went off when Jeff Jarrett went to Hall of Fame? That's gonna be me if Carmella beats Becky at SummerSlam. Thanks. So all I'm saying is, Asuka in NXT, one of the best women's wrestlers of all time. On that main roster, especially at the WrestleMania,
she's a nobody.
She's a nobody now. Taking the streak away. She's not even Mr. Tomorrow anymore. They've made her just another woman. No one cares about Asuka anymore. And then you know it's bad when she wasn't even mentioned on SmackDown Tuesday night.
Yep. She's gonna need a resurgence after this.
And this resurgence should not be needed. If WWE
shouldn't, but she's gonna need it.
And Mark, next time I tell you they won't give someone in NXT the benefit of the doubt, trust me and believe me.
And it sucks too because Triple H makes these characters so well. Yes, he develops them, gives them an opportunity to do what he got to do, and then you get to the main roster hoping he does the same stuff, and it just does not happen.
And like a lot of people said, they didn't like how Triple H was delayed. Because remember, I was supposed to go up to the main roster a while before she did, and Triple H delayed it for the simple fact that he knew he was afraid this would happen. And what happened? It happened. And it's not just Asuka. Like I said, if you look at plenty of NXT graduates, Emma when she first came up, you had the Ascension, who were the longest reigning tag team champion in NXT history, but I wasn't watching NXT back then. Finn Balor, ruined. Bobby Roode, wow, was he ruined. Revival, Asuka, you can't add that list. Bayley is still has finally started recovering from the debacle that was her feud with Alexa Bliss. And I can go on and on and on. It's getting to the point where I don't want to get angry because I'm expecting it. But when I see someone in NXT kill it the way they do, and then in the main roster they get buried and misused or not used at all, like AOP for instance, then yes, I have a problem with that. It's really starting to get my last damn nerve, and I can't take it anymore.
I feel you 100%, bro. It sucks, bro. It really. Oh shoot, my bad. It really does suck. Like You looking at Asuka literally went undefeated, and everybody thought that when she gets to the main roster, oh, it's gonna be fun to watch her. WrestleMania, I didn't mind it. If, like I said, if anybody to lose to, Charlotte was the perfect person to lose to.
Yes.
After that, it's like they didn't even know what to do with her. They literally do not know what to do with her. And I was expecting an Extreme Rules for her to kind of recognize or maybe allow her to allow. Oh, sorry. Maybe for the company or the creative team to recognize, hey, she's been losing the same way. Hopefully, Asuka could win this one and kind of counteract what was going on for her. And I gave him the benefit of the doubt, and it just did not work. It did not work, and I'm just like surprised, bro. I'm surprised. It's literally you can't put Asuka in another feud right now because it's just not going to be interesting.
Nope.
It's not going to be interesting. Her whole flame has just disappeared. Everything that was so intriguing about Asuka right now at this very exact moment is not intriguing. She's going to need a resurgence, and she's going to need it ASAP because like same way Becky needed a resurgence and she's kind of coming around the loop now. Asuka's going to need the same thing, but in a different aspect, in a different way. It's just not going to work.
But Mark, the difference between that is Becky was never really mistreated, misused.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Becky
it's
just
going to be in a different way.
Used in general. Now she's being used. She's getting most momentum. She's the most over woman on the main roster. And I'll talk about that when we get to SmackDown more about how I felt about her promo. But that's the difference is. When I look, like I said, I don't like these term buried at the time because most people that say buried don't know what it means. They think if you lose a 20-minute back and forth battle to a John Cena, that's burial. That's not what burial is. And that's why I try to correct someone when they use the term, oh, he was buried. No, he wasn't. But when I look at what Asuka's gone through since WrestleMania, yes, I feel like she's been buried.
Do you think she's been buried so much to a point that whether she gets in the title match at SummerSlam, though it's looking just to be one-on-one with Carmella and Becky Lynch, if she gets in the title match anytime between here and the end of the year, whenever it to be, and she does win the championship, do you think her burial on the main roster is so bad and so dumb and so whatever else that if she wins the title then you won't care as much as you would have if it happened at Extreme Rules?
Yes. Because I don't see her getting a title shot at SummerSlam. The best thing they can do for Asuka is this: if and when Becky gets the title from Carmella at SummerSlam, you have Asuka the next night on SmackDown turn heel on Becky, and then you just have Asuka destroy everybody and put her feud with Becky Lynch for the title. That gives some good in-ring work, good character work. And I think that's when you have people care about us. You can't just have her come out and destroy people because it won't work. No one's gonna care. You have her turn heel on Becky Lynch, who's the most over woman on the roster, then people will care after that. So that's all. It's gonna take more than her just getting the title for me to care about her again.
Right, and that's where I think it's going. I think it's going to her turning heel at some point. That's why all this has been happening, and the way that it has been happening with Carmella winning the way that she has, and to your point of your argument of Asuka being buried in this and that, may even be using this storyline to say for Asuka to have a heel turn of how she's been screwed over and with Ellsworth in other ways, and the feud with Carmella, and now not even being in the title picture, and Becky coming in and this and that, and that being used, and whenever she does turn heel. That's why I don't think Asuka is being buried. That's why I don't think that her since coming up to NXT has been a burial. Has it been great? No. But I think more of it is being of how well she was and how not just over with fans, but how dominant she was in NXT, being undefeated, having to drop the title because of that, blah, 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 coming to the main roster, and in a way, I guess you could say putting it in place and being more of one of the gals than this up here to everybody else down here sort of thing. And I think that actually was a good thing. Again, it justifies to the ends of a mean. To an end game. And for me, the end game being a Asuka turning heel, which you even said yourself, that needs to happen for you, as upset as you are and thinking that she's buried. That if she does that, that might help in how you react if she does win the championship, if she ever does get a championship match moving forward at any point in time, whenever that to be. But for me, and how they've been booking with Asuka since she got into the main roster, starting off with her, or really for me, starting off with her loss to Charlotte Flair at WrestleMania, and then that being a whole terrible thing, and then this feud with Carmella and everything in between those two things. And as it is right now for Asuka, I think Asuka is going to be just fine. Asuka is not buried, and I think again, just fine to the end of the meet of her turning heel at some point, and then redemption story, whatever kind of story you can call it, or even less so then, especially if she's going to be a heel, of her then winning the championship. And even at that point, when she's winning the championship, Carmella will not be the champion. Because Carmella, unless they do a double turn, Carmella is going to be staying a heel for a while, with or without James Ellsworth. So my gal, a female superstar that I'm a big fan of, along with Alexa Bliss, not just because of their looks, because I think they do have good in-ring talent. Alexa Bliss, I would say, is better than Carmella in the ring, and I would say Carmella may even be a little bit better than Alexa Bliss on the mic. So I think those two, though, being above those of Bayley and Sasha Banks. Like, do people think Sasha Banks is less of legit boss character because of this feud with Bayley and how this non-feud, or how this cat and mouse tease on tease of them actually having a feud that's hurting her credibility? You think Sasha's being buried? No, Sasha's not being buried. Asuka's not being buried. Both are going to be fine. Banks and Bayley are going to have a match that's going to tear the roof off whenever it freaking actually does happen. And Asuka, whenever she does turn heel, is going to be just fine. Whenever she does actually get another title opportunity, whenever she does win the SmackDown Live Women's Championship, that's why I think Asuka is going to be just fine. That's why I don't think she's buried, because of how Carmella had to win her matches, how the use of James Ellsworth, the heelish tactic ways. And yes, that does count for some, because I think that being part of her character and that being what she does as the Carmella character, I think did work here. And even though it did happen to Asuka, someone that everybody loves and someone that was so dominant in NXT. Well, that was NXT. Now she's on the main roster. You got to look at her, or you don't have to. Again, opinion. But to me, I look at her differently now, being on the main roster, how WWE's going to book her here than how she was in NXT. And that goes for all male or female superstars. It is different when you come to the main roster. It's almost like a new start. And then you go from there, and you build them from there. You build them up as much as they may need, or as less as they may need, right from how they came from NXT. So I think for Asuka, she's going to be fine with turn heel. And I think she may even become SmackDown Women's Champion at the latest. Excuse me, WrestleMania, where hopefully we'll be there in person. But that's, I guess, my thoughts. What do you guys think of that?
Okay, it's funny you bring up, because if it's Lisa turn, makes it okay. Why is it that, and I know I can't keep comparing NXT, but why was NXT able to turn Asuka heel in a way and just make her more arrogant and end up cheating to be Ember Moon without destroying her credibility whatsoever? And no, Ellsworth having Carmella win does not make it better. If you look at the way Asuka let herself get distracted, they made her look like an idiot. That doesn't make it better. In ways, it makes it worse. And no, I don't think Sasha been buried, though I feel like they have taken away what made her the legit boss, because they won't let her be the heel character she was in NXT. But no, I don't think Sasha's been buried.
You got it right on the money.
When do I not?
Right on the money.
And that's when people say, "Oh, when you lose, that makes you." No, I think Asuka was buried, not just because if you had.
Oh.
No, he was on a roll.
I know. What happened?
You know, one of the things I was thinking in my head is I wish Raunchy was with us tonight. Not saying he would have a different opinion, but just to hear this conversation and be part of it. Maybe he's here in spirit, but I'll let Kyron continue when he's ready.
Dang, they made me lose my. Oh yeah. And what does this say when you ruin a wrestler like Asuka to the point where we had to say making a heel turn makes it all better? That doesn't.
Oh wow, 2 times in a row.
I don't know what's going on over there, but like I said, he was in mid-thought there. Mark, what are your comments before we get Kyron back on the horn?
And I remember hearing you, and can you hear it now? Oh, you there?
Every time you see it goes off, I'm getting a phone call. As I was saying,
okay.
Like, what does it say when you ruin a wrestler to the point where we had to say turning them heel will make it okay? It should never have gotten to that point. WWE should have given Asuka the title at WrestleMania and built off what made her work in NXT. Instantly have, even though I don't think losing Charlotte that bad, having her tap out so quickly like she did, that hurt already. Then this feud with Carmella just made it worse.
Oh,
Yeah, look at
what?
that. I say and ask for him to be here, and look at that, he's here. But
What?
What is up, boys? What is up, boys?
Mike, what's up?
Damn, I was not expecting my guy Mike to pop up.
Nah, Mike, you haven't missed much yet. I've just been going off like I usually do.
I literally just got on the computer because just today's been hell, man. Work has been hell. I just got on and I heard you going off. I was like, oh shit, man, it's my time. I gotta get on, man. I got big bros, man. I miss you guys.
We miss you too, bro. But back to what I was saying, I feel like if we had to get to if we turn our heel, that makes it okay. It wouldn't. It shouldn't be this point. Even though the match with Charlotte was great, having Asuka tap out the way she did, that hurt a little bit. But I'm like, she can bounce back from that. I think she can bounce. That's Charlotte after all. Then the feud with Carmella had, and I'm like, okay, where's the Asuka I know and love that was a killer? She wasn't in NXT, and I feel like that woman is never coming back. Even if she turns heel, then what made her special is gone, because not only did she lose her streak, but you have her getting outsmarted by Carmella and making Asuka look stupid. That's what makes this burial, because not only is she losing, but she looks stupid doing it. You can lose a match, but still look good doing so. And no, her attacking Ellsworth after the match didn't make it okay. I mean, it makes it look like, oh, now you want to be a killer. But when Carmella was easily beating you, you look stupid. Now you want to make yourself look good. No, that doesn't work. It makes her look worse. It makes her look bad. And I just want to say, go back to TLC Prediction Podcast. I said he ruined her. Mark, you didn't want to believe me. You didn't want to believe me last week. Now, how does it feel that you have to eat your own words? Because, once again, Kyron was right.
You know what got me, though, on Extreme Rules that made me so sick? It was how Carmella won. Like, how she just threw her onto the shark cage, whatever the heck it was, and she just instantly wants to be knocked out. Exactly. I'm like, are you serious? I've seen her take much worse than a bump on a shark cage. I was so mad. I was just like, there's no way. There's no way. Either they have some serious trust in Carmella, which seems like the case, or they just don't like Asuka. I don't know why. And face Asuka isn't like suitable. Like, I just feel like if you make her a heel, bro, she would be like the dopest women's heel that they have right now. But I don't know.
And the thing is, it's not just me and Mark and a few people. Remember, it was the link on GiveMeSport.com, WWE, when it was talking about fans are criticizing WWE for continue to ruin popular stars the Extreme Rules. It was about Asuka, and it showed so many tweets. Jen Ross tried to justify it, but they wouldn't let him. And it was a lot of fans. Myself, my tweet included, was using that. So
JD and some others, yes.
Yes, JD was too. And it's like I said, the problem is that people say you can't keep comparing guys from their time in NXT to the main roster. And my response, and that's the problem. WWE brings up people from NXT, either misuses them, doesn't use them at all. And at what point does it say enough's enough? You have Triple H working his butt off down there to give us the best wrestling we can get. And building these characters to be some of the best characters and giving us some great storylines. But then when they get to the main roster, Vince just cuts them off. No.
Booty. Well, you can't say for all of them, though. Just
all right, not all of them, but let's look at it. The Revival. In NXT, they had the best tag team match of the decade with DIY. Asuka, we already went through it. The Ascension was the longest reigning tag team champs in NXT. Who else do we have? Bobby Roode, best heel in WWE NXT. You're not using him as an enhancement talent? Finn Balor, when he was in NXT as NXT champion, he was one of the coolest guys in WWE. Now look at him. He's making cringeworthy jokes, and it's not funny, and they haven't made him look cool. Heck, he doesn't. I mean, granted, it hasn't been necessary. Hasn't been a demon since TLC last year. And to be fair, TLC was one of his last truly great pay-per-view matches. And who was it against? AJ Styles. So, and people say, Kyron, you can't get this upset. When I see people kill it in NXT, and then look at Andrade. Granted, now they start to do right by him, but remember, he was not being used on SmackDown for a while. Now they're starting to do right by putting him against AJ, which was a good match. But but you see how he got no reaction when he came out and then they have him wear the mask. That defeats the purpose of what the mask was before. He only wore that for the big moments when he really needed it. Now he coming on SmackDown for a meaningless match against a car in the mask. No.
I just want to say something on Asuka. I just am disgusted on how Asuka went from absolutely being undefeated badass to winning the first ever Women's Royal Rumble to going against Charlotte in a great match at WrestleMania. It was a fantastic match. To fighting fucking James Ellsworth, who we thought got fucking fired from WWE. Now this stupid face piece of shit is back in SmackDown. Why is he back in SmackDown? Why did Asuka fight James Ellsworth? She, like what Karen said, she lost all credibility. Now, this was like a joke match. This was a fucking joke, and it made her look so stupid. I literally tried to catch up on wrestling for a bit because I haven't seen it in a while, so I saw that shit, and I could not believe my fucking eyes. What they did to her is absolutely disgusting because she is so goddamn talented, but they made her fight James Ellsworth. So that win or whatever didn't make her look strong. It just made her look fucking dumb. Yeah. It was ridiculous. Yeah. So but that just pissed me off. When I saw that shit, I had to watch a little bit of wrestling to just catch up. When I saw shit, I was like, all right, man, this is part of the reason why sometimes I don't want to watch wrestling because of this stupid shit.
I don't even blame you, bro.
I just can't believe it, man. It's crazy.
Mike, did I ever tell you I missed you, man?
I missed you too, man.
I guess here, man. So it's 3 against 1, 3 against 1 here on the Asuka debate because I'm on the other side of things and believe that she's not ruined. Ends to a meaning, as I was saying earlier.
I think it's to an extent. Like it's just I don't know what the hell they could do with her, bro. I'm just being so honest.
It shouldn't be at this point.
Yeah, Asuka. When Asuka won that thing, I instantly knew she was gonna have a good match with one of them. One of the women's champions at the time, Asuka, went against Charlotte, and it was fun. It was entertaining. It was cool.
A legit dream match.
And then after that, it's like they just didn't. It's like I don't know why. Like 2018 has just been such a odd year for WWE. Like I was expecting some really dope pay-per-views, and it's just I don't know. I'm not getting anything. I'm not getting like the oh crap, you know.
Mark, what did I tell you? You don't trust them. You give them the lowest amount of expectation. I mean, you can say it's my opinion, but to me, we've had 2 good pay-per-views this year. Royal Rumble and Money in the Bank. Every other pay-per-view was either bad, Backlash, Extreme Rules, or mediocre, or disappointing in WrestleMania, Fastlane, Elimination Chamber.
Yeah, so, WrestleMania was just very disappointing. I don't know.
So, why are you saying you're expecting good pay-per-views? I'm not. I'm expecting mediocre BS. That's all I'm expecting out of the main roster. Now, when we get to a takeover, yes, I'm excited. Now, like I said, when I told you and Malik the other day that August 18th was going to be the best show of the summer, you think I'm talking about WrestleMania? The night before is my SummerSlam. I'm sorry, the night before is my SummerSlam. NXT TakeOver Brooklyn 4 is what's going to be the show of the summer. You think I'll care about SummerSlam? SummerSlam hasn't been good since 2013. And you think I care about SummerSlam?
And you know what? And I hope we talk about it later on. Well, I'm just going to mention it anyway. Bobby Lashley and Roman Reigns.
I can't wait to talk about that.
I need to talk about it too.
No, I'm talking about when we get the Raw, not elimination. Well, not Extreme Rules per se, but what the Raw situation.
Yeah, that's what I want to talk. I want to talk about Raw.
We'll get there.
Don't worry, slow burn. But like I said, on my end of it, I don't think Asuka's Barry. I think she's gonna be fine. She'll have her turn heel. And just think about this, Kyron and Mark and Jake Raunchy as well. Let's say you do have actually Becky Lynch defeat Carmella, who everybody says is the women's champion there on SmackDown Live, for various reasons, and you have Becky Lynch becoming the champion again, who was the inaugural SmackDown Live women's champion. You have her as a face. You have Asuka actually turn heel. Look how good that feud would be and could be moving forward, even after all this, as you guys call BS, booking of Asuka versus Becky Lynch for the SmackDown Live Women's Championship. Many matches they would have, whether in SmackDown Live or the pay-per-views moving forward after SummerSlam, whatever that feud to be. And you have that moving forward. I think then, maybe not maybe then your tune may change a little bit on Asuka and everything. Everything that led up to that point, everything that led up to this SummerSlam and moving forward, if this actually happens in that way, and Asuka being booked the way she was from when she came up from NXT to the main roster, where I say it's just a long game for Asuka than a short, quick one. Because I would say, and in my opinion, if Asuka won the women's championship from Charlotte, SmackDown Women's Championship from Charlotte at WrestleMania, it would have been too quick and too soon for her to be winning a championship on the main roster. I think that would have been a little dumb. Not because she's not deserving and not good, but because she's kind of a newbie on the main roster. And why are we already going to have her be a champion? Oh, because she was undefeated at NXT? You're on the main roster now. This is a different beast. This is a different animal. This isn't NXT anymore. You're on the main roster. Things are different here. So her becoming the champion at WrestleMania, if that did happen, I would have thought that was stupid. Just as much as you guys think of her whole booking now being stupid, my thoughts would have been stupid. That enraging stupid, because why would someone that just came in from NXT, no matter how good they are, to be winning a championship that quickly? I don't know about that. But anyways, moving on forward to the next.
Hold up, Steve. I want to respond to what you said. First off,
okay,
the stuff with Becky. How does this sound instead of what you said? How about Asuka did take the title from Charlotte at WrestleMania, and she continued to look unstoppable, and you can even turn her heel in the middle, and then she feud with Becky. That could even draw even more because you have two women who are legitimate that people care about. And you say how, why would someone come from NXT and win a title? Didn't Kevin Owens come from NXT in his first match, beat John Cena cleanly, and that wasn't stupid, was it? So
that was actually really good.
That was great. And it worked. So just because you come up from and heck, Paige's first night from NXT, didn't she end AJ's record-breaking title reign?
Yes. Yep.
No one complained about that. So I don't believe that.
Preach, young brother, preach.
I'm older than you. And I
don't matter.
Just come from NXT. She was there from October all the way up to April. That's more than enough time. She won the Women's Royal Rumble, and I think her not winning was stupid.
All right, respect that. Anyways, moving right along now to the next match for the United States Championship, Shinsuke Nakamura against Jeff Hardy. Shinsuke winning in quick fashion, so I guess those rumors of Jeff being injured to be true. I mean, even especially what happened on Tuesday night, and we'll get to that when we talk about SmackDown Live. But still here talking about Extreme Rules. Shinsuke defeating Jeff to become U.S. champion. Get your guys' thoughts on that. We'll start with Mark Rambo.
I just like to see heel Randy back. It was kind of obvious at that point that my boy Jeff needed some time off. Shinsuke, I was not expecting him to hit him in the nuts. I thought we were over with that. I did like it, though. It was different. But I'm just happy. Honestly, I'm really happy to see heel Randy because babyface Randy he was just nothing. Everybody loves heel Randy Orton. It's so fun to watch. But Tuesday, and when we get to Tuesday, that oh man,
that was another level.
Yeah, that was like some savage Randy right there. But yeah, it was cool. That was probably one of the better parts of the show.
Well, I guess I'll go next.
Yeah, go ahead, Gary.
Well, to be fair, I was disappointed for 6 seconds, though I heard Jeff was injured. But looking at Tuesday, with the match Jeff and Shinsuke had, which was good, it was like, But at the same time, like Mark said, heel Randy Orton is back. Praise the Lord. Because when I talk badly about Randy Orton as boring, it's as a babyface. You see the intensity Randy brought Tuesday. You could tell he missed being a heel. And it was amazing seeing heel Randy Orton back. Thank you for bringing heel Randy Orton back. Giving us the Randy Orton we don't deserve. We don't deserve that. We need it though.
I just want to say first, that fucking Shinsuke Nakamura and Jeff Hardy thing was fucking stupid because they made, even though Jeff was fucking injured, they made him look like a fucking little bitch with a little belt. Okay, he fucking ran to him, kicked him in the goddamn face, and just pinned him 1, 2, 3. As a U.S. title champion, it should have went on for at least 60 seconds
not fucking doing a goddamn Daniel Bryan and Sheamus at WrestleMania thing. I mean, that was fucking repetitive. That's exactly what it did. They just repeated that from WrestleMania. That was really stupid. But as you all know, I'm #1 Randy Orton fan. He's on my wall. So when I fucking saw him on Tuesday fucking yank Jeff Hardy's goddamn ear and almost ripped it off, I swear I came in my pants. I came.
Disgusting.
It was
like
fucking amazing. I was cheering. I was so happy to see the fucking Viper, the real Viper, the fucking legend killer. I was so fucking happy. I cannot wait to see, dude. You like you said. You know Randy missed this shit. You know that he was burnt out of being the good guy, the baby face. You know that he needed this fucking call to go back to being heel. This had just got so much more interesting now. I mean, I liked when he was a face, half and half when he was in the Wyatts. I like that storyline. And when he went to face to go against the Wyatts, I thought it was pretty cool. But then that WrestleMania match between them sucked. And then after that, it just went downhill. Just went way downhill. And him being a babyface just got shitty. But this was the move they needed. And I'm so excited for what they're going to do with Randy now. I cannot fucking wait. And I hope to God, they're going to do, because they gave Seth his move back. I'm hoping to God they give Randy his punt back. I'm hoping to God they give him the punt back for that fucking heel finisher. I'm hoping to God.
That punt kick
was
vicious.
Insane. It was insane. That'd be perfect for heel Randy. But I'm
remember
very
when
happy.
he used to do that on Shane, I think?
You remember we did it to Vince McMahon and everyone thought he died?
Yep.
Yeah, I'll never forget it.
Then again, I always remember when he did that. They wrote he Stephanie and then kissed her when he was a heel. You know, when his feud with Triple H.
That was amazing.
That
was in there. That was the best, one of the coolest like rivalries I've seen.
I agree.
What'd you say?
I said the Randy Orton Triple H whole rivalry when Randy kissed Stephanie after he DDT'd her or whatever it was.
You know, that whole rivalry was good up until the WrestleMania match. Orton and Triple H. Like, everything up to the rivalry, everything building up was great. Breaking into Orton's house, yes. The sledgehammers, they're getting everyone's family involved. But the match at WrestleMania was so boring.
What WrestleMania was this?
All right, moving right along. Kevin Owens defeating Braun Strowman in the steel cage match. There's somewhat extreme match at Extreme Rules. I think Kevin Owens defeating Braun, though I thought Braun was going to get the win. I mean, he is Mr. Money in the Bank, though. Thought would say that your Money in the Bank would have somewhat of a losing streak, but still being Braun, I think they would have it be. But being done this way, Kevin Owens getting the win, but Braun looking strong in the end was fine with me. What are you guys' thoughts on that match? Kevin Owens getting the win. Kyron.
First things first, rest in peace, Kevin Owens. But in all seriousness, you got to give Kevin Owens his props because this is 2 straight shows he's taking a dangerous bump. And Braun literally launched him off the cage and launched him off a ladder. And I think that was a great way for Kevin to win without Braun looking stupid or weak. Heck, he looked like Braun Strowman. People say, oh, but you threw him off. You lost the match. What did Braun say? Did I really lose? Who? Like, come on. And I find it funny how this is about a month later from the 20th anniversary of Mick Foley Undertaker's Hell in a Cell match. They would reference that spot in a way. And I think Kevin Owens is the only one right now who probably would have had the balls to take that insane spot. The match itself, once again, was a man match, but that one spot may have been the moment of the night, and that was the reason I brought the match from probably a C+ to a B- because of that one spot.
All right, Mark.
Yeah, I pretty much agree with everything he just said. You already know what the deal is. This is Kyron Chase we're talking about. Everything that he says is on point. It is, to be exact, I agree with him when he said that KO, when he took that bump, it really made that match. It really did make that match. Like, and it looked like I know for a fact it hurt. I don't care how. Like, I think Kyron said it. I think he said it on Twitter. It doesn't matter how much protective padding you had on that table. He took that bump, and I know he felt something. Just look at the way he reacted after. Like, it was like a delayed reaction. Like a pain just must have shot through his neck. Like, I know it hurt. And he really made that match. I mean, from that to the suck it to what else did he do? The handcuffs. He made the match. Other than that, if it wasn't for that, we probably would have just expected a Strowman squash, which I was really expecting. I wasn't expecting him to get choke slammed off of a cage, but it was an interesting, fairly satisfying match.
Like I said, it was a sad time. I just thought that Braun Strowman in the end was going to get the win. That being nonetheless, Kevin Owens wins. Braun still looking strong in the end. But moving forward, SmackDown Live Tag Team Championship match: the Bludgeon Brothers defeating Team Hell No. My only question here is why do we have Team Hell No back if this is how we use them? But anyways, get you guys' thoughts on the match. Bludgeon Brothers retaining their tag titles. Mark.
Originally, I was gonna say, I honestly forgot who the heck I was gonna say. I was not expecting Kane to be attacked and then come out in a boot. I really don't know what they were planning there. It kind of made it even more obvious that they weren't gonna win. I like Daniel Bryan though. I like what he was doing, but I just it made it even more obvious that, I mean, maybe this isn't the end of Team Hell No, but if you're going to bring back a popular tag team like that, you're going to have to at least make the match interesting. The match wasn't really interesting to me, and at that point when Kane was injured and attacked backstage, I already knew the Bludgeon Brothers were going to win.
Honestly, I just have a question. What the fuck are they doing with Daniel Bryan? I mean, when he came back, I mean, it was the most hypest shit ever, and the crowd was fucking nuts. We were all nuts with his return, and now they're fucking bringing back Team Hell No, and he's being beaten by the fucking Bludgeon Brothers, and we all thought that this man was gonna go into, the main title, matches, hopefully facing AJ Styles for the title and everything, but they got him fucking teaming up with, I mean, I respect Kane and everything, but I mean, they have him team up with a fucking old timer. Dude, Daniel Bryan's gonna fucking leave WWE. He's gonna go to the Indies, man. I mean, I don't think he's gonna put up with this shit. Yeah, he didn't come back for this reason, dude. He didn't get signed off for this fucking reason to do this shit and get beat by the fucking Eric Rowan and fucking Luke Harper, the Bludgeon Brothers. I mean, what the fuck is going on, dude? What are they doing with Daniel Bryan? This shit. These shit like this pisses me off because Daniel Bryan is such a crazy talent. He has a wonderful personality. We all love him, but come on, man. Stop rehashing the same bullshit over and fucking over again. Please give us something fucking new. Vince, die. No, I didn't mean that, but sorry. I'm just so sick of this shit, dude. Like literally every time I take a break from wrestling and I come back, I'm like, you know what? It's been 3 or 4 months. Let me get back into it. Maybe they did something different. Maybe they hired some new writers. Maybe this is gonna be interesting now. Let me watch this shit. Nope. Same goddamn thing I've been wasting my fucking $10 a month on. Same bullshit. The only reason why I have this fucking network is to watch old ass matches that I've enjoyed in the past. Not this bullshit they're giving me right now. And it's ridiculous, man. And I cannot wait till we talk Roman Reigns after. I'm just, that's something I'm bottling it up inside. But yeah, I have that question was, what are they doing with Daniel Bryan? He's an incredible talent. I really hope they don't fuck him on this. I hope they disband his Team Hell No very quick and do something with them, because if they don't, Daniel Bryan's going to get the fuck out of there ASAP when his contract is up.
Yeah, that's where I think it probably will be going. I don't think WWE's to resign him, going to let him walk, and he can do whatever he wants. They wish him, good luck in the future and all the other stuff. And I think then WWE and Daniel Bryan would just move on from there. He had his moment in the sun, former champion, a multi-time champion, technically, won the world title after cashing in, was a former Mr. Money in the Bank, won WWE World Championship at WrestleMania 30. That I know some people that were able to be there live, the person to see that moment. But now coming back, being able to come back, period, and that being his own little miracle. But I don't think WWE really, maybe deep inside, didn't want him to come back or be able to return, or at least they're just in the strain of what they want to do with Roman Reigns and the other superstars. They didn't want to make it especially with those Daniel Bryan fans out there, almost in this on the same realm of Roman Reigns haters, the Daniel Bryan lovers, I guess you can say, where everything has to go down Bryan's way and he needs to be winning championships soon and all that other crap, which isn't true. Um, so I think it would be best for Daniel Bryan, best for World Wrestling Entertainment, in a way, for Daniel Bryan to leave, walk away. Um, no future contract. Just finish up whatever he's has to do, contractually obligated to do until up until his contract ending. I think it's just September, and then go to New Japan, go wherever, go do whatever he wishes, and be happy. You'd be happy, we'd be happy. Because I think even him is not too happy in a way, not too happy in how he is being booked. As even Runchy was talking about. Because I know he did an interview talking about he's not even believing of creative how they would if they would actually be able to book it right for him and Miz if they were going to have a match at SummerSlam. So him already popping off at the mouth about that. So it's not really going to help his case and wanting to be re-signed either. But then again, the same thing goes with Ziggler. He shoots his mouth all the time, does interviews, and he's Intercontinental champion right now, and with Drew McIntyre, who's a future world champion. So, what do I know? But I'm just thinking, in my opinion, in the situation of Daniel Bryan, probably will not be here past September in WWE. I mean, and doing his own thing elsewhere in the Indies, and he'll be much happier. I'll be a little bit happier in WWE. We'll be able to then move on from it as well. But anyways, let's move on here talking about Extreme Rules so we can finally get to Raw and other things. Next match to talk about Bobby Lashley defeating Roman Reigns one-on-one at the Extreme Rules pay-per-view. And next week on Raw will be Bobby Lashley and Roman Reigns again, this time with something actually meaningful on the line, which logic would dictate this time it'll be going Roman Reigns' way, which is why maybe it happened on Sunday with Lashley getting the win over Reigns. But let's talk about Extreme Rules first. Bobby Lashley defeating Roman Reigns. Your thoughts on that, Kyron?
The match itself was actually, I enjoyed it. I thought it was actually a decent match between Roman and Bobby. It was actually a surprise. But I mean, I know we're gonna get to Raw, but I got to get something on my chest now. If the end game was to do Roman and Bobby next week on Raw as no one contenders match, why didn't the match Extreme Rules? Why wasn't that just no one contenders match? That made no sense to me. I don't want to hear, oh, Roman can get the win back. No, because it just doesn't work. Because then you have Roman saying he won this tournament, but Bobby beat Roman. So who gets a shot? And I don't want to see no triple threat match. So at this, so I'm like, why have Bobby and Roman think each other Extreme Rules? If the end game was doing no contenders match 2 weeks later on Raw, would have been better if the Extreme Rules match been the no contenders match.
I get that, Mark Ramble.
I am just happy it's about time that I'm not, or actually, I'm happy my guess was wrong when it came to Roman Reigns. He actually lost. And it, to me, was kind of unexpected. Like, I was expecting, okay, Roman Reigns, he's gonna be down for like 90% of the match, and he's gonna come back. And then he's gonna Superman punch him and then spear him and then, do the typical,
Oh, hey, Mark.
he's coming back. You said what?
I was just gonna say, just here as a side note, didn't mean to interrupt you, but
No, you good.
our boy Palmer Simmons, Palmer J, is in the chat, so just want to let you know so you can
Palmer, what's going on? My God.
Palmer, fucking weed boy, high boy.
Wait, I forgot what I was saying there. Oh yeah. I was expecting Roman Reigns to just be like, oh yeah, come back and do whatever and this and that. And we did not get that. He actually lost clean. But why? If we're gonna get Roman Reigns versus Bobby Lashley, and we already know who's gonna win this, and this is the case. If Roman Reigns actually loses this time, I think what they're gonna do is they're gonna try to make us feel sad for Roman because he's like, oh my God,
Mark. Yeah, they are trying to do that because the rumors has been JD reported this, and I've seen it in different dirt sheets. They're trying to do a sympathy angle with Roman Reigns. Spoiler alert and heads up WWE, it ain't gonna work. So I don't see why. Yeah, and here's the thing: they try to get a sympathy, then they backhanded. They say, "Oh, Mankind is holding me down, but I main evented 4 straight WrestleManias." How much are you being held down if you main evented 4 consecutive Manias? And well, and it's like they trying to do the same thing they did with Daniel Bryan, but with Daniel Bryan, it was real. They really didn't want him to be in the main event of WrestleMania, so that's why fans gravitated more, felt sorry for him. Plus, he's smaller than Roman Reigns, but with Roman Reigns, you expect us to believe you're being held down when you've main evented 4 straight WrestleManias, and in those 4 straight, you face Brock Lesnar, Triple H, The Undertaker, so 3 huge names. You've beaten John Cena cleanly on pay-per-view. Even though you lost on Sunday night, and you get another shot to get the title the next night and you win, are you really being held down, Roman? And I don't feel any sympathy for you. And I don't even hate Roman Reigns.
The only time that it worked with feeling bad for Roman Reigns, in my personal opinion, because I hate him with a fucking fiery passion now, but back in the day when they had a thing where it was Survivor Series, I believe, and it was Roman Reigns versus Dean Ambrose, Roman won, and then Sheamus cashed in, and that whole storyline, no one wanted to see Sheamus as champion, so they had the whole thing with Vince, working in the background, making Sheamus champion and everything. And that one Raw, where it was Sheamus versus Roman Reigns for the title, and Mr. McMahon was at ringside. And I remember when the crowd went fucking crazy when Roman Reigns Superman punched Vince McMahon. The crowd went fucking bananas. Roman Reigns finally won and got the title. Everyone went fucking crazy, and that was the only time where that whole storyline, I personally believe, feeling bad for Roman Reigns worked. But now, ever since then, it's been pushing it down our fucking throats. And like Kieran said, the motherfucker, he main evented 4 WrestleManias, for Christ's sakes. How many chances is this guy gonna give? And nothing, we can't sympathize for Roman Reigns because everything's been fucking given to him. All these opportunities. We're not gonna feel sorry for him. It's just going to make us more angry that the opportunities are being taken away from other people who are more deserving. So, yeah, this shit with, but anyway, the match with him and Bobby Lashley was decent. I did enjoy it. The finish was unexpected, incredibly unexpected, as you can tell from the crowd. But like Kieran said, I mean, why the fuck wasn't that the stipulation? Why wasn't that the #1 contender to face Brock Lesnar? It literally makes no sense. But now you fucking know that Roman is gonna go over, and now the crowd's gonna be really fucking crazy, and now they're gonna know what's gonna happen when he faces Brock Lesnar. It's the same shit over and over. Wrestling wrestling, honestly, I'm gonna use the word. When wrestling is bad, when every single week, every single month, you can predict it down to the fucking point every single time. That's when it's just bullshit at this point. And they are think about it, guys. They're taking 3 hours of our time on Monday nights. They're taking away 2 hours on fucking Tuesdays. They're taking 7 hours on fucking pay-per-views. But we all know the fucking outcome. That's fucking crazy. When you think about that, we fucking sit because we're loyal wrestling fans. But we fucking get fucked in the ass because we know how this shit's gonna end every fucking time. I'm gonna protest, man. How much longer are we gonna put this shit for? How much longer are we gonna put with this shit? Seriously, we gotta all, what the smartest thing for us to fucking do is cancel our subscriptions all at fucking once. They're like, oh shit, what the fuck did we do? Motherfucker, we gotta do something different.
That's what happened one time. They got scared. They got scared one time when Daniel Bryan got eliminated at the Royal Rumble. And they were like, oh, cancel the WWE network. They were so salty, man.
But
they literally destroyed Royal Rumble just because of that.
But here's the thing. You think they're going to care? You look at the money they're making. Raw just had its lowest rating in show history last week. And I'm counting 95 in that. And if it hits that lower than 1995, you really effed up. You have really hit the bottom when you are... And I'm gonna be honest, it's not as bad as 1995. But if you hit that low, Something's got to change, Vince. I understand you're making more money than you've ever made. And this, and I'm not just talking about from wrestling, I'm talking about every advertisers and everything else. But I don't care. And JD said it best. Whenever they make a lot of money, it hurting the product. They're not making a lot of money, so we have to suffer from BS product. Now I admit this week's SmackDown was pretty good, but
Yep.
and NXT of course is always good. But I'm just talking about Raw here. When was the last time we had a very good episode of Raw?
A very long time.
So
Very, very long.
So I don't want to hear people saying, "Oh, they're making money, so who cares?" Or if you don't like the product, stop watching. That's not going to make it better. And I'm definitely never going to be one of those people who's just going to be a shill and just say everything and stay positive 100%. See, Mike, you and I always disagree, but I consider ourselves two sides of the same coin. We both, when we agree on something, we really agree with it. We just handle it in different ways.
Yeah.
And and people say, and I say all the time, I don't care how if people don't like me, I'm not gonna sit back and say a show's good when it's not. And if you look at my last few pay-per-view reviews, well, last one, and they haven't been positive. So what else? When the shows have not been very good, and I'm not gonna give W the benefit of the doubt because they haven't given me a reason to give them the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah, that's understandable. For me, maybe the positive person I try to be, I do give WWE side of the doubt. Maybe it'll get to a point where I won't anymore, but for right now, I still want to. And especially coming on here to SummerSlam, the road to SummerSlam, I think SummerSlam can be great, and to see how the card shapes up, and maybe it will be good, and it'll beat most people's expectations, and it'll be fine, dandy, and awesome as SummerSlam should be, because the freaking number one pay-per-view of the summer, and WWE should always give SummerSlam that respect in of how they book the shows of that show and build up to it and have the best matches on the card, whether it's 10 matches, 12 matches, 14 matches. I don't really give a what. But I still am one to give it the benefit of the doubt because I am that positive person and I continue to try to be. And I think that WWE will put on greater and better pay-per-views moving forward. I mean, we're at SummerSlam now. We're at the number 2 pay-per-view of WWE behind WrestleMania. And you would think WWE would not be able to book a show like SummerSlam? Well, I mean, to me, that's ludicrous. And I think that if SummerSlam is a steaming pile of what, then I'm going to be disappointed in that. And not even angry, just disappointed. It's for me, it's more of getting to a point of being disappointed than being angry or raising my voice or swearing. Because really, I know, at least for me, that's not going to do anything. It's not going to change anything and whatever. But for me, I do keep giving it the benefit of the doubt. I do think they're going to turn the table or turn a corner. I mean, I do think it's going to get better. I even was thinking, about Ranchi and if he was going to come back to watching wrestling and coming back here on this show, like, hey, perfect timing would be here around SummerSlam. Because with it being the biggest part of the summer, biggest pay-per-view of the summer, second best WWE, that, maybe it'll be a dang good show. Hopefully it will be. And I'm hopeful that even these B-level pay-per-views are taken more seriously and that they are a bit better and they have strong cards and good matches. And it doesn't include Extreme Rules, of course, that just happened. I did say Extreme Rules I think was okay, but it could have been better for different reasons. But I will, for now, keep being that positive, trying to be that guiding light here in the W universe in my own way of giving the benefit of the doubt and trying to I guess in a way be on their side. Whether people call me W fanboy, whatever they want to call me, whatever, that's fine. Because maybe in the end I am. But I just think that it can happen. I do think that it can be better. And I do hope that SummerSlam is booked properly, but we'll have to wait and see. But I'm just saying my side because I know you guys were talking about with SummerSlam and how things are being so predictable now. And in a way I agree with you, there on that, Mark. I want things to be unpredictable in individual matches and overall in a freaking pay-per-view. I don't want to already know where things are going. I don't want to already know where things are going months down the road. I don't. That's why I'm a wrestling fan. That's why I love wrestling. That's why I love the business and became a wrestling fan when I was younger. I enjoyed and at that time believed in the storylines. Believed it was real then. but believed in the characters, believed in the storylines, believed in everything. Things were unpredictable. What the heck's going to happen next? I have to tune in each and every week to see what the heck's going on for wrestling shows and the pay-per-views is alike. But now, in 2018, it's gotten to a point, really, even for me, being positive, that I am thinking a little bit more on their end of the thinking, Kyron, Mark, and Ronchi, on how WWE has been booking their shows and pay-per-views. But I'm still trying to give it the benefit of the doubt, and I'll still continue that until it gets to my breaking point, my personal breaking point. And as you can tell, it takes a lot to get to my breaking point. So, anybody in WWE watching, don't get to my breaking point, okay? Just that's all I ask. But anyways, moving right along, let's talk about the rest of the pay-per-view so we can finally get on to Raw and talk about things there. Raw Women's Championship match, Alexa Bliss defeating Nia Jax to retain, and interaction with Ronda Rousey as well. AJ Styles defeating Rusev, so it wasn't a happy Rusev day. AJ Styles retaining his championship, and the main event, actually the Intercontinental Championship, main eventing the show. Dolph Ziggler actually main eventing a show. Who would have thought that? Dolph Ziggler, Seth Rollins, Dolph Ziggler retaining his championship with overtime. So with those three matches, the final matches of the pay-per-view, what are your guys' thoughts on the rest of Extreme Rules? Kyron.
First off, the women's match I thought was god awful. Like I said before, neither Nia or Alexa are good workers. The match was botchy, sloppy. The only good part was Ronda, and even Ronda looked a little sloppy. The way she threw Mickey into the barricade was a little bit too hard. And when Mickey hit that kendo stick, that looked stiff as well. I thought that match was terrible. So, Yana, it's a night on the paper where I think both women's style matches are bad for different reasons. AJ and Rusev was a clear match of the night for me. It was entertaining. There was some dramatic near falls. When Rusev hit that second macho kick, I was like, oh snap, are they really gonna give it to him? When he hit face first into the turnbuckle, when AJ hit the 450 and Rusev kicked out, I was on the edge of my seat, not gonna lie. Thought it was a great match. The main event. This is what I gotta say to the crowd in Pittsburgh. That's what I gotta say to them. Yeah, I can joke around and say how I don't like Pittsburgh as a Ravens fan. That's our mortal rivals. But this has nothing to do with that. They ruined that match. The match was not even that good anyway. And the booking and pacing was all over the place. They messed up already having Steph go 3-0 and having Dolph had to cheat to come back. That makes them look bad. Here's what should have happened. The match should have been tied up throughout the whole match. No one should have gotten a fall. It goes into overtime for another 10 minutes. So let them go 40, 45 minutes. And I say Dolph could have won by Dean Ambrose interference, which would have been great. Like I said, they should have did. But like I told you guys last week, they're not that smart. That's number one. So I felt, and the crowd constantly counting down like it's the Royal Rumble. It, the first time you asked Mark when we talked about it, because we were watching the show with Malik, and I said, okay, it's annoying now, but they'll probably stop. And they kept going and did it. The final minute, they did it for 30 minutes straight. It was so annoying. The match was not that good due to booking and pacing. I mean, I passed the match, but it still was disappointing from who was in it. And you look at two Raw matches. The only match, and like I said, from the whole show, I thought it was a bad show. The only matches I actually liked was AJ and Rusev, Roman and Bobby. Seth and Dolph had the last 10 minutes of Seth and Dolph. And Kevin Owens taking that fall. Those are the only things I liked from that show. I thought Extreme Rules was a pretty bad show. Not as bad as Backlash, but still a bad show.
All right, Mark Rambo.
In regards to the AJ Styles Rusev match, I thought that match was good. I feel like this shouldn't be the end of Rusev. This should definitely not be the end of Rusev. Of course, AJ is AJ. You know that is my favorite wrestler. I really don't have much to say about him. But in regards to the main event, which one was it? It was Rollins versus Ziggler. I would say that the crowd definitely messed up that match.
No, don't
Big
say messed
time.
up. Say it. No. Say they ruined it, Mark. Don't just say messed up. It was minor. They ruined it.
Okay, I guess we don't have to say it. They ruined it. It was very obvious. I thought the match outside of that was pretty good. I enjoyed it. The whole 3-0 situation, and then McIntyre doing what he does. I enjoyed it. I know some people said they didn't enjoy it. I think you, Karen, said you didn't enjoy it. But that crowd really, really, really messed it up. like you said, Karen, we were watching it. They were doing the 10-9-8 thing. I honestly thought it was going to go away, but it didn't. It kept going and going and going and going. I honestly just didn't pay much attention. But looking at it now, because I rewatched it, I'm not gonna lie to you, I fell asleep on a couple of parts. Um, looking at it the second time, I was just thinking like, man, they really messed this one up. Other than that, I mean, I'm not at all. Actually, you know what? I kind of am surprised Ziggler won, but I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. The pay per view, it definitely could use some help, but I'm not going to stress on it.
All right, well, moving away from Extreme Rules, talking about finally Monday Night Raw. I know a few of us did want to speak on that. Let's speak about the main event scenario and storyline going on. Being the WWE Universal Champion, Brock Lesnar at Extreme Rules, Kurt Angle created Brock Lesnar to show up on Raw, to either show up or come to terms to pick who he's going to face next, or be stripped of the championship. Well, he wasn't stripped. He personally himself wasn't there, but Paul Heyman was. And then a bunch of other superstars came out there, 6 to be exact. And then we have 2 triple threat matches for the night. First off, we have Roman Reigns, Finn Balor, and Drew McIntyre. And then our other triple threat, Bobby Lashley, Seth Rollins, and Elias. Winner of those were to face next week or this upcoming week, to be for the number one contendership to face Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam. Roman Reigns won the first one. Bobby Lashley won the second one. And as we already talked about, Roman to face Roman to face Bobby Lashley again, going to be happening this upcoming Raw. What are you guys' thoughts on what actually happened this past week on Raw with the scenario with the WWE Universal Championship and the matches that happened on Monday's show? Kyron.
Well, I like the first triple threat match. I like the opening segment in general. I like, everyone got their piece in. The first triple threat match I thought was really good. It's intense. The second one left a lot to be desired. And when Roman won the first one, I was disappointed because I really wanted Finn to win the first one, Seth to win the second one, and you could say, and the first Universal title match is now a no one contender match for Brock Lesnar. When Roman won the first one, I said, okay, they'll probably have Lashley win, but what I would do is have Rollins win since he's the highest superstar in Raw, and they took the IC title away from him. Now he can move to the Universal title. And you could do Rollins versus Reigns next week, and Rollins wins, and you can maybe start a heel turn for Reigns because he started to get frustrated. But no, they weren't that smart.
God damn it, dude. I was thinking the same. I'm sorry. I mean, I was thinking the same fucking thing you were thinking, dude. It's exactly what I fucking wanted. That would have been fucking perfect.
See, you should been here, Mike. I've been killing with fantasy booking over the last couple months. You should have seen some things I've been saying. But I mean, that's what I would have done because it would have made sense and it would have had someone the fans care about. But instead, you do Lashley and Reigns. And once again, if the end game was for them to have a number contenders match, then the match at Extreme Rules should have been a number contenders match. But no, here's what I think might happen next week. Because they obviously going to want Reigns in the main event because there's nowhere else for them to go at SummerSlam. Nowhere else for Lashley to go. They'll find a way for the match to end in a draw, and they'll both get the title shot. And they'll have a triple threat match. Or they can have Braun Strowman come out and say, I missed the money in the bank. I'm cashing. I'm going to make a fatal 4-way. Or you just have Brock, Roman, and Bobby kill each other, and then Braun cashes in. Either way, no matter what happens, I had Braun Strowman walking out of SummerSlam with the Universal title because that's the only thing I really want. It's the only thing that would make the fans probably happy. Because if they end in New York with Roman Reigns holding that title, the Barclays is going to get torn apart. Are we gonna talk about the rest of Raw, or should I just stop right here?
For now, we'll stop right here. We're just talking about with the main focus being on with the WWE Universal Championship. Go ahead, Mark. What are your thoughts on everything?
First of all, my boy Seth Rollins was about to kill somebody on Monday Night Raw. I'm not the only one that recognized the way he came out. He came out with a vendetta. He was about to take somebody's head off. Like, the way he looked at Drew, I was like, oh yeah, we're about to see we're brewing for a rivalry. We're brewing for a match at some pay-per-view, and it is going to be good. I mean, I really, and this is in regards to the triple threat match. I agree with Kyron with the opening segment. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a really cool way. But I was really rooting for anybody but Roman. It didn't matter with me with the first triple threat. Finn could have won, Drew could have won, but anybody but Roman Reigns. And what do we have? Roman Reigns wins it again, and voila. I mean, I shouldn't even be surprised at this point. Like they really, 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 really want us to like Roman Reigns, but you can't force people to like somebody. What don't they get?
Not
It
they.
is not
It's
that
Vince.
hard.
Now you starting to come around, Mark. It took you long to finally come around.
No,
didn't it?
I knew it. I know, bro. I knew it. I don't know. I've just been so low key about it. It's not that hard, bro.
Just even think.
People obviously know that we do not like Roman Reigns, that they still put this man in main events and doing all this other stuff. It's like, it's not working.
And it would never will.
just think of WWE Universe reaction, let alone if Roman Reigns wins Universal Championship, right? We have Roman Reigns facing Brock Lesnar. He wins. You know how people will be going crazy online and there in the Barclays Center. Think about it even in a different way of thinking. Braun Strowman cashes in, makes it a triple threat match. We think, hey, Roman's going to get screwed again. They're going to try to have sympathy for Roman again. Being a second time, Brock versus Reigns that was one-on-one becomes triple threat with a cash in with a Mr. Money in the Bank, and always screwing him over and losing, and Roman to be the one taking the L, taking the pin, Brock losing the championship. Think about it, if Brock actually retains the championship, Braun cashes in unsuccessfully, but Reigns doesn't win the championship. Brock retains, and we have this whole story continuing to WrestleMania, and we have Brock Lesnar, Roman Reigns, again, they're one-on-one, and then we have Reigns winning the championship because they'll be trying to get that sympathy for Reigns because, again, he's getting screwed over with another cash-in person taking an opportunity from him, even though the difference is this cash-in person, this Mr. Money in the Bank, doesn't win the championship, but Brock actually retains and fends both of their, once off and retains the championship. Think the response there. I think that response from the fans would be more vitriol greater than if Roman Reigns just simply beats Brock 1, 2, 3, one-on-one.
Oh, I'm angry just hearing it. I'm angry just hearing it.
If they literally fucking make me watch the same storyline and all the way to WrestleMania just to see Roman Reigns versus Brock fucking Lesnar again, I swear to God, I'm fucking done. I am in Connecticut. I will go to the headquarters with fucking signs. I will be there. They better not make us fucking. They better not string this out till WrestleMania again. I swear, because Steve, honestly, because in my mind, I was just thinking that Roman's gonna be going over in that match at some point, but then Braun's gonna come in, cash in, and like you said, Roman's gonna take the L. But I did not think in my fucking head that maybe there's a possibility where Braun can have a failed cash in, and fucking Roman does win that match.
I swear.
Or, I'm sorry. I mean, if Brock retains, because if Brock retains, that means longer. We fucking don't see the Universal title, and then that shit gets stringed all that to WrestleMania, dude. That's a fucking nightmare and a half right there. I hope to God they don't do that shit.
I think if that happens, Rachi's going to have an unscheduled meeting with someone there at headquarters.
I swear on everything I own, if that happens, I might let me know the date. Even if I'm in Virginia for college, I will join you in Connecticut.
We are literally fucking there. I am not joking, dude. I will literally do that.
Oh, I'm not either. Trust me, I am not either. Mike, while you've been gone, I've done great in taking over your negativity trophy. Granted, I'm not right. Just look at Steve and Mark how I've been since you've been gone. And trust me, if they had the balls to do that, it won't be pretty.
Hey, I think my negative side would be coming out because I would be there with you, honestly.
I think. No, continue. Sorry.
There's no way they can't be that insane.
They are.
They can't be that insane. I will literally, and I love wrestling. Wrestling has helped me through a lot of
Me too.
personal shit.
Yep.
If they do that, I would be speechless. I would be.
At first, if that happens, if it
speechless.
goes exactly the way I'm saying, I mean, someone will have to play this clip of me talking about it from this episode. But then at first, I'll laugh and read reactions of people online and otherwise in our group, our big Twitter thread and stuff like that. And then I might get a little angry myself. Like that might be my breaking point a little bit. Was as we were talking about as I went on that ramble earlier. But yeah, I think if that actually happened, whether to a T or at all, Brock retaining, and we have Brock and Roman, yet another part in their saga, heading into another WrestleMania. That certainly would.
Can't do it.
You imagine if they do go to WrestleMania and it is Brock versus Roman, and then fucking Brock retains once fucking again.
Oh my gosh!
I will fucking lose my shit.
Yeah, people would not watch wrestling in WWE anymore.
Brock holding the title
They're
forever.
done.
Even I would probably stop watching for a little bit. That
I would take a hiatus. Yeah,
I would have
I'm
to take
taking
a hiatus. You know what? And you guys might hate me for saying this, and people might. I'd rather have had Roman win the title at WrestleMania.
I would
it
too.
all be over.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I would too.
And the thing is, if they like think about it, WWE's not done. Well, they are, but but let's look at it this way. You've had Roman WrestleMania, had 4 straight WrestleManias. And of those 4 matches, only one was good. The one with Brock at WrestleMania 31. And even then, how good would it we look on it if Seth didn't cash in? So unless they have Braun cash in to save our lives, they wouldn't. If they have Roman and Brock main event WrestleMania 35 in New Jersey, oh, trust me,
Gritty City.
Ah, God, it almost might be worse just to see everyone go off on it because trust me, trust me, it will not be pretty. And you look at it, Roman's match with Triple H at WrestleMania 32 was 27 minutes and was boring. Match Undertaker, granted, that wasn't Roman's fault because of Undertaker's age and injuries, was not good either. And then the match this year at WrestleMania against Brock wasn't always Roman's fault, but it was bad. And then him and Brock had another match at the Greatest Royal Rumble where the only moves used was suplex, a powerbomb, a steel chair shot, F5, spear, and Superman punch. The match between Roman and Lesnar, the problem people don't like it so much is the repetition. The only things used are suplexes, F5, Supermans, and spears. And yes, the same thing happened with Goldberg and Lesnar, but at least those matches were short, so it wasn't overexposed. You're having Roman and Lesnar go for 15 and 20 minutes doing that stuff. You're going to have people fall asleep, especially at this, a 7-hour WrestleMania and then a 6-hour SummerSlam. Trust me, I know SummerSlam is probably not going to be good because it ain't been good since 2013. And 2013, I think is for me the 3rd greatest SummerSlam of all time because you had Cena, Bryan, Punk, Lesnar. You know, probably one of Brock's best singles matches. In 2013, and since then, they have not had a truly great SummerSlam since, and it hurts them even worse that Takeover the night before kicks their ass every time.
Yep,
You know, be pretty
right
dope.
now.
Oh, I'm sorry, Mark. You can go.
I was going to say, like, I get excited more for TakeOver now than I do for certain pay-per-views.
Obviously.
Like main roster pay-per-views.
Me too.
I know I'm in for a treat with TakeOver.
Honestly, I was just thinking in my head, you know, it'd be pretty dope. I don't know if you guys agree with me, but if what happens is if Braun does come in to cash in at some point, if he does, sometime if it's a triple threat match for quite a while, and I'm not talking about Brock comes in, does his finisher, pins, and that's it. I mean, have the match continue for quite a while as a triple threat match, but at some point, it'd be pretty dope if they're all on the ground, right? They're all fucking dying. You know who's going to win. No. Fucking Dean Ambrose comes out to Roman's aid. Dean Ambrose comes to Roman's aid, you think? Then fucking Dirty Deeds him. And fucking somebody, and then and that will be able for fucking Braun to get the pin over Brock finally, and actually, and then Brock finally gets his L, and then that will leave a feud between Roman and a fucking awesome heel Dean Ambrose, with everyone go fucking nuts for.
But Mike, here's the problem with that. As great as that sounds, that's not making
You're gonna
Ambrose
make Roman
a heel.
win.
That's gonna make Ambrose the biggest babyface in New York. Where they
You know what?
failed
You're
was-
absolutely right about that.
Where they failed was not having Ambrose come back Saturday night and cost Rollins the title. That
Yeah.
makes you a heel because Rollins is the most over person in WWE for the right reasons.
Yeah,
You have him turn on Roman Reigns, he's gonna get forget heel turn. If anything, he's gonna get a face pop.
Yeah.
You have him turn on Seth
The-
Rollins, then he's
the-
gonna get booed.
The thing is, though, they don't. I don't even think they realize. Like the only person I think realizes is Triple H. The fans are changing, man.
Yeah.
They're becoming way more savvy. They're becoming like what seems is good to them, to the creative team, sucks to fans. I don't know if they realize it, but that's what's really creating all this rift and negativity towards the wrestling and the fans. Like they just need to maybe one time, and I know they don't, just one time listen to what people are so pissed off about, and maybe you can work off of that. I mean, I would if I was in the creative team. I would try to find out why are they so mad all the time. And then if it what we're doing, I mean, I don't know. They need to do something. They need to do something because it's just like they. I feel like they know, but they're just not trying to listen.
At the end of the day, asses will still be, no matter if we fucking hate this shit, no matter if the audience hates this shit, there will always be asses in those seats. And that's the fucking reason why they're not changing anything, because they know tickets will sell and we're still going to be subscribed to WWE Network because you know why? Even though we fucking hate the product right now, we're still loyal fans. That's why they ain't changing shit. They know our ass in the seats. We're paying for the fucking network. They ain't changing shit. That's why.
You got that right.
I gotta say, beyond the Attitude Era or wrestling of our past and glory years, the Table for Three show there on the W Network is actually pretty interesting. The last two episodes was the Raw Women's Champion Alexa Bliss, Trish Stratus, and Lita one, and then this past one as well, our most recent one as well, pretty dang good. And hey, Angry Cooters joined us for what's your time here?
What up?
Yo.
What's up? Good evening, bitches. How are we this fine evening?
I am fan-fucking-tastic.
You got some nerve calling someone else a bitch.
I was calling everybody a bitch. That's just what I...
Yeah, we were talking. I was talking about my crazy idea with Brock Lesnar with SummerSlam of Braun Strowman cashing in, making it a triple threat. But instead, this time, like the last time when they had the one-on-one contest with Reigns and Brock, and then Seth cashed in and won the title to pin Reigns. This time, Braun's cash-in has failed. Roman doesn't win the championship. Brock retains. Brock faces Roman at WrestleMania because WWE is trying to get that sympathy for Roman Reigns, and Reigns winning the championship at WrestleMania, and that being how that saga actually finally plays out. What's your thoughts on that crazy thought?
Oh, I hate it. No offense. I can't. I'm over Brock Lesnar carrying a belt. We need somebody who's going to show up on TV.
Yep.
Give us a few laughs. We don't even get Brock Lesnar anymore. We get Paul Heyman every 3 months. It's like an even swap here. It's like we either get Heyman or we get Heyman and Brock just stands there like a dumb shit. Yeah, Paul, cut the promo for me. I'm only standing here making like $250,000 for this episode. I'm just gonna stand here and flex my pecs and look like a fucking jabroni. Oh, by the way, I'll see you in 6 months. Next time I decide to show up to fucking TV. I had this great idea. I think we were talking about this last week. I don't remember what it was because I've been drinking. But it had something to do with, you know what, Braun Strowman I think Cologne was saying, why does he just say, you know what, forget his money in a bank briefcase and just make a new title. Say, yep, I'm the champ now. And Brock Lesnar comes back, what about me? And we're just like, well, no, we don't care. Go fight in UFC or whatever. To the point where Kurt Angle has to like say, yeah, you're fighting him for the Universal title, and the guy's like, nah, no thanks. Like nobody wants to fight him because nobody cares, and just piss him off. And it makes like Brock Lesnar as the champion kind of like chase Braun Strowman. So it doesn't really matter if he's not on TV because it just nobody cares anyway. So when he shows up, and finally maybe has like a face-to-face, maybe unify these belts and I don't know, maybe put it back on Braun, keep him on him for a little while. I just like that idea personally. I don't know. I'm just tired of, if we can't see Brock on a regular basis, let's use that to our advantage somehow. That's all.
Yeah, what do you guys think of that, Karen?
Hey, listen, at this rate, if it gets the title off Brock Lesnar in a good way, I don't care. I just want the title off Brock. It does not matter to me. Really, if they do Roman and Brock at SummerSlam, as much as New York is gonna crap all over it, just give Roman the title and let's be done with it. OTR Central said it best. WWE are being cowards with Roman Reigns. Think of all their big faces, whether you love them or you hated them. Hogan, Austin, Cena, Rock. When would they ever in their life back down off giving them the big title win at WrestleMania? Never. So what's that say about Roman? Say like I said before, say what you want about all their big faces, whether you loved them or you hated them. They weren't scared to go all in on them. And you say they're not doing it with Roman, but they didn't give him the title at WrestleMania for the simple fact that they wanted to be better well received. So I'm thinking, okay, so they're going to give it to him in Saudi Arabia. Still don't give it to him. Like, they would never have done that with Hogan. They never would have done it with Cena. They never would have done it with Austin, Rock. So why do you keep doing it with Roman? Just give him the title, put us out of our misery, and let's get it over with.
See, that's the thing. I think you're comparing him to John Cena, Hogan, Austin. These are guys who were over. Braun Strowman Roman Reigns is a decent talent. I really don't have a problem with his in-ring work, but he bores me to death. And he's been pushed and pushed and pushed. This is like, that was the thing. We were all thinking that Lashley and Roman were going to close the show. It was nice to not have him in that main event spot somewhere in the middle of the card. I didn't hate him as much. I'm just saying. And now all of a sudden, one fucking match on one pay-per-view, he's not in there. And, you're just going to go back to hating him. He's not as marketable to me as a John Cena, who was popular at one point. I mean, the only time Roman was ever really popular was in the Shield. And they tried that. And it kind of worked. They kind of stopped booing him for a little while. He's destined to be part of probably one of the greatest stables of all time.
Yes.
And not marketable as a single star. That's my opinion. I'm sorry. I just don't see it. He doesn't work for me. It's enough. It's like, let's try somebody else. Oh, we only have a guy who's huge, who's popular, who the fucking fans either love or cheer or hate at his will, whatever they want. Hell, even somebody like Elias, he gets a crowd cheering for him at the beginning of a promo. They love him, and he just deals on them automatically, and he controls that crowd. Roman doesn't have the control of the crowd. So that's important, man. It's fucking ring psychology. He doesn't have it. And to be a major star and a champion, you have to be able to fucking change that crowd at will. He doesn't have it.
And for me, the reason I think that maybe WWE would do what I was thinking they would do, have Brock retain the title, whether beating Reigns one-on-one or having the Braun Strowman situation happen as well, is really reaction. Because now it's 2018, how the fans are with the social medias and this and that, WWE being more of a reaction business in that way to get those crowd shots after matches of shock and horror and oh no, what just happened sort of thing. That kind of reaction, that's why I think I wouldn't put it over WWE at all for Brock to retain at SummerSlam and for Brock to face Roman and Roman to win said Universal Championship at WrestleMania, as much as it might piss some of us off here in the panel.
I don't think that happens, bro.
I hope not, but I'm just saying that I wouldn't put it past WWE for doing it.
I think that they have to take it off him, because if he loses that fight to Daniel Cormier and he's still that champion, you make your belt look like shit even more than the fact that it's not even on TV. Not only is it on TV, but it's on somebody who got their ass beat by an undersized heavyweight in the UFC. That aura of invincibility that Brock Lesnar has is the last thing he has going for him, and it's gone if he loses that fight, and that's a big deal. Now, the only way I see them keeping that belt on him is you see how Cain Velasquez is training in the PC. I don't see them moving him up to a main roster that quick. What the fuck was that?
My mother was yelling at my younger brother. I'm gonna go handle this.
Oh, go lay the smack down, brother. Anyway, I mean, that is interesting, but I don't see. I mean, somebody like Cain Velasquez is going to need a good year and a half of proper training. It's an interesting matchup. But again, you're going to keep the belt on Brock Lesnar for that long until somebody like Cain is ready. And this is somebody who beat Brock Lesnar in the UFC for the title. So, I mean, that would be the only way to me I could see them keeping it on him. Is that raunchy, Mike? Holy shit, that's an ugly motherfucking picture, bro. Fix your face, motherfucker.
What was that, bitch?
My man. All right. Come on, say something.
I've been talking, brother. You got here late.
Hey, listen. I come on my time, not your time, goddammit.
Goddamn, man. I don't give a shit about that.
All right. Anyway, continue on without me.
Yeah, I was just going to say to Mark Ramble and Raunchy if there's anything you wanted to say in response to anything me and Cooter were discussing here.
No, man, it's just the same bullshit. I fear that what your theory is that Brock is gonna keep that title all the way to WrestleMania. We're gonna see another Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar, which is absolutely ridiculous. I just hope that it's just Brock Lesnar. I'm sorry, I hope it's Braun Strowman cashing in on SummerSlam. We can finally get a new fucking champion and something fresh. Because I mean, if this one person deserves it, it's fucking Braun Strowman. That dude is incredibly over right now. I just want Brock out of here. I just can't. I can give two shits about him, and Roman needs to go to mid card or whatever. He just needs to get the fuck out of here. I'm just done with it. It's just same shit over and over and over again.
You guys want to know something crazy? 2012, he first came back. 2012, 2013, Brock Lesnar.
Yeah.
And he tore a rampage on John Cena. When he came back, I was like, oh shit, Brock Lesnar, this and that, UFC. And I was excited that he was back. Now, what is that? 6 years later, I want him to leave. I never wanted a person to leave. And the crazy thing is, you go on SmackDown, they have the WWE Championship, as their prestigious title. You go to Raw, it feels like they don't even have a damn title. It's like, what are they really fighting for? You have a champion that's not there. And to top that, he has somebody who talks for him. To top that, he does the same stuff in the ring over and over and over again. And to top that, we get the same type of main event match, which is eventually going to be Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar. I mean, like, what don't they understand? Like, it's boring to me. It's repetitive, and there needs to be an immediate title change. I'm sorry, and I can't wait for the Kane guy. Yeah, I definitely can't wait for that.
Oh, I mean, here's the thing. I can't remember the last time I enjoyed a Brock Lesnar match. Maybe the AJ Styles match. That was all because AJ made Brock look good.
Yep.
Samoa Joe and Brock Lesnar last year at Great Balls of Fire was the only other one that I really enjoyed. God, you can go back to that Royal Rumble match where it was, I want to say it was Seth Rollins and was that Cena? It was Cena. That was incredible. But again, it was because he has the right dance partners. Him and Roman just do not have good chemistry in the ring. And that makes for a shitty match, and it makes for Roman winning the title look really bad because the fact that they put that belt on Brock when they did pissed me off. You had Kevin Owens, who was actually making that title relevant in that great program with Chris Jericho last year, only for it to be taken away from him, which that would have been amazing. Owens Jericho for the title but you felt that Goldberg and Lesnar, who already had a great storyline without the belt, needed the belt. It made no fucking sense to me.
You could have done it. Yeah, you could have done the exact same thing with Goldberg and Lesnar at WrestleMania, which I was in
without the
attendance for.
belt.
And trust me, it was insane. That match, the intensity was crazy. Loved it. You could have done the same thing and not had the title, and nothing would have changed. If you had given KO and Jericho the Universal title like it deserved, because it was the longest running storyline in WWE, and you put that on as a main event, well, not main event, but a big money match, then no one would have complained. And like I said, the Owens and like in both matches were good, but Lesnar Goldberg didn't need the title.
It didn't.
It could have been the same because Goldberg and Lesnar names sell on their own.
It's a shame.
Yeah. And but anyway, moving right along here, talking about Monday Night Raw, the other big storyline going on with WWE or with the Raw brand being with Sasha Banks and Bayley, and they're back and forth. They were constantly before Extreme Rules. Then on this past Monday, we're supposed to get the results of how that went. Really, the results being of Kurt Angle going to put them in a tag team match, and they do have this tag team match against Alicia Fox and Dana Brooke, where they lose. After the match, Sasha Banks and Bayley out. Then they have the backstage moment between Bayley and Sasha Banks. Or Sasha Banks, I guess, confesses her love for Bayley, which was interesting in its own right. But all that, Jazz, what are you guys' thoughts on Sasha Banks and Bayley saga here, continuing on
I
Ramble?
would have just started making out. I love you. Don't you get it? I love you. Shut the fuck up and just kiss something. Seriously.
I don't know where they're going with this, honestly. At one point, they brought back Dr. Shelby. I was like, okay, maybe they're trying to do like a little Team Hell No thing. But I don't think it would work the same. I don't know. I really don't know. And I'm not even hating on this whole thing. I'm clueless. I have no idea what they're doing. And I like both of them. I like Banks. I like Bayley. I got nothing, bad to say about them. I just think they're at this point or at this phase where they don't know what to do with them, so they do this, and it makes it even more confusing because they don't even know what they're doing.
I think they just want to keep stretching out. That's why I think they're even getting to this point of with the storyline of Kurt Angle, saying if this doesn't work out, one of you have to go to SmackDown Live, splitting them up and having one on the other, one on Raw, one on SmackDown Live. And if that is actually the case, I want to have Bayley over on SmackDown Live, Banks on Raw. But I think that we are thinking to go that way to string this along even further and longer, whether to WrestleMania or whatever it be. For them then to finally have a match one-on-one actually and finally get a payoff or finally just get a match period to have this feud actually start and happen where we thought weeks ago, or I did, when Bayley attacked Sasha and that being the heel turn for her and then they went to this therapy crap and stuff and we're at the point now, but that's where I'm thinking of why they're going in that direction if they even do that, having one of them go into SmackDown Live to string us along even further in this Bayley Sasha Banks saga.
I'm gonna laugh my balls off because if they fucking decide that they're gonna have a match at SummerSlam, it's in the same building where that infamous match between them and NXT was. And certain people, when they're in the ring together, they like to do similar shit. Like I remember a match they had on Raw where they did a bunch of the sequences that they did in that Brooklyn Takeover match. And I'm just sitting there thinking to myself, oh God, I'm recognizing this. These are the exact same sequences. It's not like the same spots. It's the same sequences, same reversals, same bullshit. And I'm like, oh my God, they're basically doing the same match. And I'm like, if they do this at SummerSlam, if they do this at SummerSlam in front of the same crowd that was at fucking NXT TakeOver, they are going to boo them out of the fucking building. You can't have the same match in the same building in front of the same fans. It's just not going to work because that's a smart crowd. Damn, that fucking smelled. And it's a smart fucking crowd. And let me tell you, they're going to boo them the fuck out of that building. God damn, I got to stop eating all that cheese.
This guy.
Well, my thoughts on it is I'm glad they're actually giving them some development in the storyline. Granted, I don't like how Kurt's making them team up when it's obvious it's not working. This is wrestling, Kurt. This isn't friendship something show. You sell things in the ring. And when he said, I'm like, okay, they're finally gonna have a match and I'm gonna make you team up. Why? Why do you keep giving us this tag team bullshit? I don't get it. And it's really starting to get on my nerves. And now with Sasha, the thing that happened backstage, here's my thoughts. If this leads to Sasha getting Bayley back on in Bayley's good graces, then stabbing her in the back and turning heel, and then they have a loser leaves Raw match at SummerSlam, has to have a stipulation. Has to. If this leads to what Wall Culture reporting is a romance angle between the two, listen, I love some girl on girl as much as the next guy, but keep that out of my wrestling, please. Let's just hope they don't go to romance angle. And even if you do go to romance angle and it gets to the LGBT thing, I understand she doesn't have the name they have, but you have a woman on the roster who is a lesbian, and Sonya Deville, but yet you're gonna do it with two women who aren't. And once again, I don't think they're gonna go that route, but that's just my thoughts if they do. Best option, have Sasha turn heel after getting Bayley's good graces. Luli's Raw match at SummerSlam, and with a stipulation. That way, you can do some of the same spots at TakeOver Brooklyn. Trust me, I know that match like the back of my hand. They try to repeat it, I'm gonna know it. But you can, if you add a stipulation like an Extreme Rules Falls Count Anywhere or something, or Last Woman Standing, I'm gonna know some sequences. But they're definitely gonna break some new stuff out. You know those two will because.
How about a leather strap match? Eh?
Ha 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 ha.
Brought to you, Mike. I know you like that. A nice leather strap. Eh?
Oh my gosh. But like I was saying, Sasha, she goes to the ends to make sure her match is as good as she can make it. And she's not afraid to nearly kill herself to do it. So if let's say Bayley and Sasha have let's say an I Quit match. And if you say I quit, you quit Raw and you go to SmackDown. That would be that don't tell me that would not be a good match. Because the two can play off each other wonderfully, has a great storyline there, the intensity. And if the crowd reacts the way you want, you're looking at a great one of the top women's matches of the year. I mean, to me, Sasha and Bayley still have the greatest women's match I've ever seen in TakeOver Brooklyn, and that still has got to change. So put it in the same building as stipulation and bring the extra intensity. You're looking at match of the night contender.
Were you at that match?
I wasn't at that match, but I did watch it. I've watched it a bunch of times.
And let me tell you something. Good. I'm telling you, it was fantastic. But that's like a once-in-a-lifetime thing. I don't think they have another classic like that in them. I really don't. At least something that's going to be different. I mean, it's like they peaked way too early in their careers, and now they're just treading water. It's like their legacies are forever going to be held up to that match, and that sucks for them because
it's sad how right you are. I mean, you look at what was it, 2.5 months later, the Iron Woman match they had was great, but was it as good as the match they had in Brooklyn? No. Even though I did love the Iron Woman match, and I put it number 4 in the top 10 match of 2015, but it's like you had such a good match. It's like, for example, let's say Austin and Bray. WrestleMania 13 was such a good match that even though they had matches after it, nothing could touch that.
And you know that? It's a valid point. You know why that's true? Name another match from that fucking card. Right now.
Undertaker said.
Oh, come on. You only knew that one because shit his fucking pants in that match. All right, fair enough. But it took you a minute. You know what I'm saying? Like, you had to think about that one. Wait a minute. That wasn't on the same card.
It was.
No, it was not. You said Shawn and Brett.
I said Austin and Brett.
Oh, wait a minute. How could Austin and Brett be on the same? Did you say Michaels? You talking about the Iron Man match?
I'm talking about Austin and Brett submission match. I said not a single match they had since.
Why you were talking about the fucking Iron Man match? My bad. That's what that was my point. See, that would have made more sense.
That too. I mean, I can think of a few matches from WrestleMania 12 other than the Iron Man match. But point taken, nothing Shawn and Brett did since then. I mean, granted, the only other match they had was in Montreal, and that was a good match, but we all know why that can't touch it. That's the problem with having such a classic match. Like you said, no matter what you do, it can't top. Like the funny thing, like, and then you look at like Shawn Michaels and Undertaker. Granted, Meltzer gave that Hell in a Cell match a five stars, and I love that match. But when we think of Shawn Taker, we think of WrestleMania 25. Look at what happened in WrestleMania 26. Great storyline, but yet the match didn't live up to that, and it couldn't, no matter how good it was.
That's very true. It's very true. God damn. I mean, and they've had so many great matches. I mean, you had the Hell in a Cell, you had the match, the Rumble, the casket match. That was fucking great.
Mm-hmm.
But Jesus, I mean, what are you gonna do? Can't sit there and fucking recreate the magic. Those are the two, maybe the two that were able to top some of their earlier matches. I mean, because you figure, what you said, 25 was the first one. Think of all the matches they had. You thought they couldn't get any better, but they somehow did. But you know, that's a testament to Shawn just as much as Taker, because I mean, he had that long layoff and came back and still had, God, how that run was. I think he came back 99 and finally retired. How many years after that? I think arguably his second run in WWE post injury was better than his first.
Not even close. For me, not even close.
I mean, it's 10 times better.
I think so. I think his second run, and that's the run I grew up with. So, of course, I'm going to gravitate toward that one more.
How old are you?
18.
Oh, Jesus. Okay. Yeah. All right. That makes sense. I'm an old motherfucker, dude. I'm 35. I've seen some good shit. I've seen a whole lot of bad shit. I've just seen some shit.
We all have. Literally.
Why don't you, Mikey, any thoughts on Sasha Banks' Bailey situation?
Honestly, all the segments are just cringeworthy at this point, and it just got to the point where I just mute my TV and I just don't care about the storyline anymore. If they want to kiss and make out, let them kiss and make out. I'm all for that. I'm not gonna hate on it. I mean, if they do that, they do that. But honestly, I just really don't give a shit where it's going. It's just comes to the point where they're just giving us the same thing over and over again, and it's sad in this day and age. Just when it comes to matches now, that when you watch a match, you know how music, when you buy an album, a new mainstream album, for example, you're listening to a new mainstream album, and like half the album are just filler tracks. Yes. They're not standout tracks, they're just filler tracks. That's exactly what Raw is. SmackDown, majority of the time, SmackDown can have some decent shows, and pay-per-views now. It's just filler matches. And it's sad to this day now where two wrestlers fight and you can literally predict every single move that's going to happen next, because that happened the previous week and the previous week before that and the week before that. And it's just come to the point where I just literally don't have the excitement anymore for WWE. And it's such a fucking shame, because one thing that pops on my mind, I remember when I was a kid, I remember watching WrestleMania 17 when I saw The Rock versus Austin, and that match just literally blew my fucking mind on how insane and chaotic that match was. And I was so surprised, and I was cheering. I was a big Rock fan, I was a big Austin fan, but I remember the turn that Austin did with working with Vince McMahon, and it just blew my fucking mind as a child. And that energy, that surprise, I haven't felt that since. You know what I mean? I just don't think that WWE is ever going to recreate something that magical ever again. You know, moments like that. And it's just, I don't know, it's just unfortunate. I try to stay in with WWE. I try to watch it every now and then, but every time I come back, I take a hiatus off of it. Every time I come back, it's just the same shit over and over again. It's sad. It really is, because it used to be such a wonderful, beautiful thing. And like, I think Mark was saying this before, it got me through some rough times. It was really rough times, and it was something that just brought so much excitement in my life, and something I was so happy to be a part of as a child. And yeah, now it's just something that I can literally go. Back then, I couldn't go, a day or two without watching wrestling, but now I could just go without it and honestly not give a shit anymore. And that's sad, being a kid who grew up watching that with my father. It's just unfortunate. But yeah, I know I went off topic a little bit, but yeah, as far as Sasha and Bailey goes, just make out, or
or don't. Just end the storyline because it's just getting old now. Yeah.
I gotta
Yeah.
tell you, it's funny because I actually agree with him. There's 4 shows that most mainstream WWE watchers, you got the Raw, you got SmackDown, 205 Live, and NXT. How fucking bad is it when the best show that you put on is a tape show and it's NXT? And how much worse is it that your best live television show is literally 205 Live? And why is that? The reason why it's the best live show that they put on, do they have some campy storylines? Of course they do. But they're short, promos are quick, and then it's all action. They let the action do the talking. I don't need this huge angle. All right, I don't like you, you're a dick. Okay, let's get in the ring and let's fucking put on another classic. I mean, fuck, dude, was it last week you had Tommy and Cedric Alexander? What a fucking match. It was probably the best match of the week, and that's including the pay-per-view. I don't care what anybody says about Dolph Ziggler and Seth Rollins. Honestly, it was a good match. It wasn't a great match. Buddy Murphy and Mustafa Ali 2 weeks ago. Again, another amazing fucking match. Blows my mind whenever I turn on 205 Live. I can't wait to get off of this show because I'm going to go turn on my Hulu and I'm going to watch the episode that I missed this week because I don't even know what's on it. I don't even care what's on it. I just know that they only have an hour and they pack as much fucking action in it and they don't do all the corny backstage stuff because they only have the hour.
Same thing with NXT.
Exactly. It's only an hour show. And what I like about NXT and fucking 205 Live is you're not typically seeing the same guys every week. You'll go a few weeks without seeing this guy or that guy. So you don't get sick of them. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
It's gotten to a point where, like on Raw and SmackDown, they try to pack as many guys onto the show as they can. I say, hey, run a month with a few angles and keep certain guys off of TV. And then when that fucking pay-per-view is over, dude, you bring the other guys in and, you know, like do a flip side. You give the guys who were just on pay-per-view a good month off of television so they're not killing themselves. It's a way to give these guys a break where they don't have to be featured every week unless they're like a top contender or, you know, a title holder. I think, you know, you have enough talent to where, hey, you know what? If I don't see Roman Reigns this week, no big fucking deal because, well, not because I don't like him, but hey, you know what? Maybe absence makes the heart grow fonder. And that's what's so great about NXT. That's what's great about 205 Live. It's fucking action-packed. It's short. And, you know, you don't know who you're going to see on a weekly basis.
Yeah.
Yeah, here, actually, before we go into SmackDown Live, I wanted to bring up the Hulk Hogan news here as we still have Angry Cooter around for as long as we will. Hulk Hogan being reinstated to the WWE Hall of Fame. Also, going to be signing a contract with WWE Legends contract, kind of being an ambassador again, kind of pretty much doing what he was doing previously before he was let go 3 years ago. But I want to get everybody's thoughts on the Hulk Hogan breaking news, or was breaking news, and Hulk Hogan back in the mix. He was backstage at Extreme Rules at a meeting with boys there, or everybody there, all the talents. Apologizing otherwise. Got statements from the New Day and Titus O'Neil in regards to that meeting. As well, but I want to get your guys' thoughts overall. We'll start with Kyron Chase with Hulk Hogan news.
Listen, I said I forgave him for what he said, and I stand by that. When this happened 3 years ago, I was offended and pissed off as an African American, and I think, and yeah, he says he's sorry, but how sorry is he? Or is he sorry for what he said, or is he sorry that he got caught saying it? That's my whole thing. And there are some wrestlers, black wrestlers, even some white wrestlers probably, who are angry about what he said, and they can't bring themselves to forgive him. And I 100% understand, and I side by that because, you know, like I said, it's gonna be different from someone that's not an African American, such as myself. It's your racism is a topic that's hard to talk about. And even when I did my review the other night, I just skipped over really quick. I can't blame any wrestler of color if they're still angry at Hogan. And they have, like I said, they have every right to be. But for anyone who's forgiven them, I'm fine with that as well. What I don't like is if someone's angry and someone who's not, just putting down those people who are still angry, saying, "Oh, get over it. It was 3 years ago." Things like that. Some people say the best. This is a man, not me, but there's a lot of wrestlers who grew up watching Hogan, who are black, who looked up to him, and they hear him say something like that, and you attacking my entire race and myself in a way. So why should I forgive you? And that's just how I feel. It's like I forgive him, but at the same time, I get why people are still angry, especially African Americans.
All right, Cooter.
Oh, you don't want to save the best for last? All right. This is how I feel. Out of tragedy came triumph. Because there was that episode of Main Event Marks where we took this very unfortunate incident and had a racist meme pageant. Because that was the glorious thing about this, was the memes were fantastic. And we were sitting there grading these memes and what we thought was the funniest. And let's be honest, was what he said shitty? Absolutely. Is Kyron right? Is he sorry for what he said, or is he sorry that he got caught? I'm going to say this. Let he who has not sinned cast the first stone, because I am sure at some point in our lives, everybody has said something stupid, racist, or both. And at the end of the day, the guy was at a point in his life where, and it's not an excuse, it's just what it was. The guy was not in his right mind. He was banging his best friend's wife minutes earlier. How much lower can you be? It sucks. Like, it's unfortunate. It is what it is. I think I don't want to be the guy who says, let's just all move on. But in all honesty, we can't talk about the history of professional wrestling without mentioning Hulk Hogan. He belongs in the Hall of Fame. He has a place in the history of this business, and that's all there is to it. Whether we like, dude, have we not brought back Mel Gibson? Have we not forgiven Mel Gibson for all the fucked up things that motherfucker has said? My God, there is an abundance of people who have said racist shit, celebrities, and you know what? We've forgiven them. Even Tracy Morgan. We have forgiven Tracy Morgan, mostly because he got hit by a Walmart truck. But, I mean, dude was under fire years ago when that HBO special came out, and it was F-word this and F-word that about, homosexuals, and if his son was an F-word and blah, 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 blah. Like, he had to do his penance, but we forgave him. It is what it is. Let's move on. I don't want to be that guy, but we need to move on because we've forgiven everybody else. I think we should forgive Hulk Hogan.
I don't mean to just cut in front of someone else. And I agree to an extent because, like, look at Ultimate Warrior, look at the stuff he said.
Yes.
And they brought him back. Hell, they named him Humanitarian Award after him, which I think is disgusting.
Absolutely.
But this is just coming from someone who's, an African American. I've forgiven him, but I understand why people don't. I mean, think of it this way. And I'm not trying to compare these situations in any way whatsoever because they're completely different, even though they're both racially motivated. A lot of, like, they tell a lot of African Americans, get over slavery or get over civil rights. You weren't there back then. But the reason a lot of African Americans, myself included, can't get over that stuff is because even though I wasn't there, the history affects us because, our families, even though we don't know them, were on those plantations and were treated that way back in the civil rights era. And I'm not trying to compare what Hogan said to that, but I get why people aren't getting over it as easily. I personally have gotten over it, but I understand why others haven't. Because racism, and trust me, lots of people say a lot of racist, stupid stuff, and there's no excuse anyway. But racism is just a touchy subject, and the way I may be affected might be different the way Mark, who's also African American, might be affected, or someone else.
I'll make this comparison, honestly. You remember Patrice O'Neal? Kyron? Were you around to enjoy the comedy of Patrice O'Neal?
Why does that name sound so familiar?
He was a rather large African American stand-up comic. He used to wear like one of those top hats. used to hear
Yeah,
him
I know what you're
on
talking about.
Anthony all
Yeah, I know
the
exactly
time.
what you're talking about.
Now, and it's funny that I'm bringing this up because he was on the show right when Tracy Morgan got in trouble, and he basically broke down the business. And his whole thing was, is it okay for me to say that I endorse hate speech? Why can't I hate you in speech? And I didn't want to agree with him on that, and I didn't. But at the end, the point he was trying to say is, as long as you're not like physically hurting me or stopping me from making a living, I don't care what you say because it doesn't affect me. Words don't matter. Facts don't care about your feelings type of shit. And like Patrice was on air with Anthony Cumia, who, I mean, I don't want to say he's a racist, but he has racial tendencies, and they loved each other. They got along with each other better than probably Opie and Anthony did, for Christ's sake. They were just on point with each other. And now Patrice didn't necessarily agree with his views, but he understood where he was coming from. And that's why I respected Patrice so much, was you didn't have to agree with him and he didn't have to agree with you, but he respected your point of view. And I think that's what's not being remembered in today's society. We're totally off the tangent, but that was my fault.
All right, Ronchi, what are your thoughts on the Hogan news?
Honestly, I couldn't give two shits about Hulk Hogan, to be honest. I never liked Hulk Hogan, to be perfectly straight. I think he's kind of an asshole. He said a really fucked up thing. And honestly, Anthony, I'm going to agree with you on one thing, absolutely 110%. We all say fucked up shit. In our time in life, we had to some fucked up shit. Listen, I'm going to say something right now, and it's probably absolutely 110% wrong, but I'm a very honest fucking person. I got angry at somebody the other day. This is probably 3-4 days ago. Sure, he wasn't homosexual at all, but this is just me being I get angry a lot.
Yeah.
So what did I do? The first word that came to my head was the word faggot. And that's exactly what I said. That's exactly what I said. Do I regret saying that? Of course I do. Of course I do, because I was in the heat of a moment. We all say fucked up shit. Is it wrong? Of course it's wrong. It's absolutely 110% wrong. But sometimes there's shit that just flies out of our fucking mouths that we just don't think about. What Hulk Hogan said was absolutely fucked up. And I'm with Kieran on something that I don't know if he apologizes because he got caught. I don't know that. I've never liked Hulk Hogan. I thought he was kind of an asshole. But as far as him being in the Hall of Fame, I can give two shits. But yeah, Anthony, I do agree with him that we all say some fucked up, stupid shit at times. And it is wrong, but shit happens. Shit does happen, and we say stupid shit. It's honestly, we're only human. That's all I can say. We're only human. Shit happens.
Mark,
you there?
Yeah, my bad. In regards to Hulk Hogan, I heard there was a video or audio of them saying it. I don't. Let's be real. You know what? I'm going to clear the air, and I'm just going to be honest with you. Was it right for him to say what he said? Absolutely not. But we're gonna. This isn't. This is. I'm gonna just bring it up into modern day. We have a problem with white people particularly white people saying that word, but yet there's African Americans who are mainstream in rap and music who throw the word around so much.
Very liberal.
You said what?
So very liberally they do it. They don't care.
Yeah, they don't care at all. And yet when there's a white person who just happens to say it, and they're probably repeating it off of a song in which they made, they have a problem with. That's what I don't understand. I completely understand the fact that they're mad because Hulk Hogan said what he said. Is he allowed to say it? Hell no. I don't even think anybody should say that word. Black people
Yes, black
included.
people included.
Yeah, black people included. I don't think that word should be said throughout any race. But it's like a double standard. You can't get mad for a white person for saying it, but yet you're saying it yourself so freely. Like, you need to put an end to it. You need to just stop saying it. Period.
I
I was personally upset at Hulk Hogan when I heard about the thing, about the whole situation, what he was saying and what he said. Do I forgive him? I guess so. I'm on the fence with you, Cooter and Kyron. I feel like he's saying it more just to kind of saying that, oh, I got caught. You know, let me just kind of get out of it. I don't think he's staring it genuinely out of the bottom of his heart. But I don't know. I just feel like it's so much more that is into this whole situation, and I think a lot of it is what I was mentioning earlier. Like, they say it around black people, say it around so freely, but yet you get so uptight when a white person says it. How about you just stop saying it yourself?
You know,
And
bro.
we can end discussion right there.
You remind me of an incident that happened not too long ago. I think it was Kendrick Lamar.
Yeah, I know where this is going.
It was a white girl. She was singing her song, singing one of his songs.
You brought her up there to sing the song and then yelled at her for singing the song. What the fuck is wrong with you, man?
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm talking about.
That was, and you know, we were talking about this at my job yesterday. And I brought that situation up, and I said how myself, I've said it, of course, but I'm doing the best I can to stop saying it. Like, I haven't really been saying it lately. Like, I still listen to music that says the word, but I don't get angry when a white person says it. Granted, I'd rather they not say it. When I get angry is when you're clearly trying to use it as a racial slur. That's when I have a problem. Like, if you, like, for example, when I remember I made a video a couple months ago, and it was about woke culture, I believe it was, and someone said that word in the comments, and it was clearly in a racial tone. I mean, I just ignored him, but that's when I feel like, you know, if for black people to get mad at white people for saying it, yeah, it's a problem. But if you get mad, but I understand getting mad when someone clearly says it in a racial slur, because I've experienced that. Mark, I'm pretty sure you've experienced racism as well. That's when I have the problem. Is when you clearly using it to be racist. Once again, I'd rather no one say it, black people included. But when you say it to be racist, that's when I'm going to call you out on it. That's when I'm going to have a problem with it. That's when I'm going to get angry.
I'm with you on that one because you know what? I'm tired of people making Polish jokes and Italian jokes about me. It's fucked up, man. It's fucked up.
And we're finishing up there, or we're talking about that. And I'm moving to SmackDown Live with anything that you guys wanted to bring up with SmackDown. I don't need to go piece by piece. We're already going late. But you guys' overall thoughts on things that you do want to bring up in regards to this week's SmackDown Live show, Kyron.
Loved AJ and Almost. Thought it was a good match. I like Eric Young and Kofi Kingston. I thought that was a good match. Hardy and Nakamura was a very good match. And if Jeff was injured, he didn't show it. Becky's promo I thought was great. You could tell. Like I said earlier, when Becky talks, she sounds real when she's talking. And I felt like every word she said came from the bottom of her heart. And I like that. And of course, Randy Orton attacking Jeff Hardy. And I don't know who said it, but I gotta agree. I've seen Jeff fall off ladders, off cages, and I've seen him take some pretty hard bumps. And I never cringed. But when Randy pulled Jeff's earlobe like ear, I cringe. Every time I look at it, I cringe. It was that good. And when I'm watching it, like, this is the Randy Orton I know and love. This is the Randy Orton I want to see on WWE TV. I'll be honest, even though I did not like Raw this week, I thought SmackDown was a damn near perfect show. I had almost no flaws in SmackDown, honestly. Yeah, I thought SmackDown was very good this week.
God damn. Andrade Cien Almas is a beast.
He is.
From day one on NXT, I don't care.
I'm telling you, he's the future of SmackDown.
What's that?
I'm calling it now. He's the future of SmackDown. We're going to see more of him. We're definitely going to see more of him. And he's on the right brand, too. That's what makes it even better.
He's
on
getting
the right
in the way.
brand.
All those assholes on Raw, and I'm gonna tell you, I've seen him in the ring since his NXT days with everybody, and I've never seen him he had good matches with fucking No Way Jose. There is not a person on that roster who he cannot have a amazing match with. You're right. Future of SmackDown Live. And that's my final thought, bitches.
My God.
Mark Rambo.
Oh yeah, SmackDown was very, very good. Like AJ, like I said earlier in the show, AJ and Almas was amazing. I'm gonna say it again. Andrade Cien Almas is the future of SmackDown. I'm gonna say it again. Randy Orton heel turn was just perfect. I mean, I'm gonna kind of echo what Kyron said. That ear plugging, whatever it is, pulling, whatever it was. Oh my God, it looked like it hurt. I don't care if it was planned or not. I know he felt something. And, oh man, I want to know what's going to happen next. Obviously, Hardy, Matt, Jeff is going to take some time now. I heard he's going to take some time off. What is Hill Randy going to do now? Is he just going to go on a rampage and just like RKO the hell out of everybody now? Just like, I don't know. Is he going to? I'm curious, and it's a good curious because I feel like with what was going on in Raw, it's nice to see SmackDown. You know, they're on their P's and Q's, but it was a very, very, very good show.
Raunchy, did you see SmackDown?
Yeah, what Kyron said pretty much, man. It was a damn good show, enjoyable. My main highlight was definitely that Orton turn. I'm just hoping that they take advantage of this, and they will never ever do this like in the old days. But I would just love to see fucking Randy, like camera backstage. He just fucking walks up to a random ass superstar, just RKO's people, just goes fucking crazy. I like to see him RKO some girls like back in the old days, like Stacy Keibler. But we'll never get that again. We'll never get that. But I just hope they take advantage of this and make it fucking awesome and interesting. I'm happy. This heel turn was much, much needed, and I just can't wait for next Tuesday.
I hope he RKO's Paige. That would be great.
Oh shit,
that'd be hilarious.
RKO that fucking British sissy pink, and fucking through a table. Even better, RKO her through a fucking table, and then because I'm tired of hearing that fucking voice of hers.
But she's actually a good general manager, though. I'll be honest.
Yeah.
The way she's better than Angle. FGM.
Yo, I hate fucking Kurt Angle because that motherfucker, he talks like he's got marbles in his mouth, yo. I mean, literally, he can't even say WWE. WWE. God damn, Hooked on Phonics did not work for you, Kurt Angle. Holy shit.
To me, it just seems like he's just thinking too much. Like he's trying to remember what he's supposed to say next, and that's why he messes up.
Absolutely.
Get that motherfucker a teleprompter, please. Save us.
Yeah. But anyways,
Let me just say something.
okay.
Zelina Vega is probably one of the coolest chicks I've ever met in my life. Real story.
Is she?
We had a photo op with her. We were running at a show in Poughkeepsie, where we're from, and let me tell you, it is one of the coolest, most down chicks ever. I mean, you just sit there and bullshit with her all fucking day, man. That is one top-notch girl, let me tell you. And she's talented, man. She's very small, but it's funny how fucking small these girls look in person. But when you see them on TV, they look larger than life. I mean, unreal. It's just like night and day difference.
Is she as fine in person as she is on TV?
Bro, let me tell you something. She is very, very fine. And this is right after she had left TNA when she was known as Rosita. And, I mean, they came, I think the show was called The Man Show. And they just basically, we just did, photo ops. She was supposed to be like a bikini photo op, but she had like these little boy shorts and a fucking, good top. She's just cool. We didn't even care like that she was drop dead gorgeous. She was just cool. She was very approachable. people came up. She talked with everybody. Like, no bullshit. You know, she had no fucks left to give. I mean, treated everybody respectfully. It's nice to see somebody like that in the business because, like, there's just been so many times when you approach people and they're just like dicks.
All right, and with that, we'll say goodbye here for Steve's Wrestling Ramble. Here again, we'll went over people who were on SmackDown and talk about Hulk Hogan. It was let everybody promote their stuff, put themselves over. We'll start with Kyron Chase, where we can find you, social media and otherwise.
Follow me on Twitter, SplashBro Kyron, Instagram, SplashBro_Kyron, DeviantArt, and Tumblr's Kyron Chase, my YouTube account, Kyron Chase. I do videos on Sonic the Hedgehog, wrestling, My Little Pony, Friendship is Magic. I do reaction videos. As a matter of fact, as soon as we go off the air, I'm about to do one. So look out for that.
All right, definitely. Raunchy Mikey.
Find me on Twitter at Raunchy Mikey for just all sorts of bullshit.
Mark Rambo.
You guys know where the fuck you guys can find me. My Instagram, Live Like Ram. Twitter, Marcus Rambo. My YouTube channel, if you guys don't know, I'd be very surprised if you guys know. MFOG Mark Rambo. I have not put up a video in a week or so. That is a shame, but I have to do a lot of stuff. Me and a good friend of mine, a good friend of this channel, Mounty's Corner, we are doing a video on his channel. Be sure to check out his channel. Just Mounty's Corner channel. And yeah, that's it.
All right, and last but certainly not least, best for last, Angry Cooter.
That's right, bitches. You can follow me on Twitter at Angry Cooter, Instagram at Angry Cooter, and be sure to go to anotherwrestlingpodcast.com for all our links, Instagram, Twitter, our show. Probably taking like a good week or two off, and we're coming back strong, getting ready, gearing up for SummerSlam. And anybody who's going to be at NXT Brooklyn, you'll see the God body there. God damn it.
And obviously here you can subscribe to this channel, ring the bell, know when videos go live, or even those that do upload when I do that at random times. Follow me on Twitter at WWE_podcast and my personal Twitter handle at Army_strong_06. Follow me on Instagram at TBK_06. There is also a fan page. I don't post there as often as I should, but a fan page on Facebook. Just search Steve's Wrestling Ramble and like there. So thank everybody for being here, my team, and Angry Cooter as well for joining in. Hope you all have a great rest of your evening, your day, and otherwise, and above all else, as always, take care.
Take care.
Peace out.
Peace, bitches. Play the Hogan song.